Hey friends, we're back with joke time. Passwords are hard to remember, but I'm sure you'll remember this one. What was Forrest Gump's password? I'll give it to you. 1 Forrest 1. That's 1 Forrest 1.
Hampton Roads has a long-running high school and college sports tradition. It's time to give them the spotlight they deserve. This is 757 Sports Talk. Here are Matt Hatfield and Coach Ed Young.
Greetings, all you happy, pappy people. It is time for 757 Sports Talk as football season has arrived and we are ready to talk all kinds of pigskin action with you out there. I am Matthew Hatfield. He is the guy who does not give out his password, but he is wearing the same Smithfield Packers shirt that he wore last week, just a couple days after he was introduced as the head coach. Did you get that thing washed, or is it you just been wearing it for 7 days? And if you do, God help us all. Thank God we don't have to smell you.
Been sleeping in it for 7 straight days.
Ugh.
It smells good. Oh, yeah, it smells good. I can't be a dirty person. But you mentioned pigskin, okay? Don't forget Smithfield Foods, my Packers, right? Right? Got to get into it.
Yeah.
So, but no, I didn't sleep in it all 7 days. I did watch it one day, slept in it 3 more, watched it again. So
I don't know about you.
Good.
I
I'm
really
good.
don't know.
I'm good.
Hey, I am geeked up. I'm jazzed up. I'm juiced up. Speaking of juice, we got a juice pool segment coming up in a little bit too. Don't shake your head. You know you love them. America loves them. Hey, we've got all kinds of high school football to talk with you. And look at this. On the ticker, the scores are back. We've got scores from actual games, not benefit games or scrimmages. There were a couple VHSL games you see out in Southwest Virginia. The Richlands Blue Tornado led the Virginia High Bearcats at the half, but did not hold the lead. And private school action on Friday. Northcross put a whooping on NSA. Tonight at Emory and Henry, it is Lord Botetourt, a Class 3 top 10 team, taking on Rye Cove, a Class 1 top 10 team. I'm sure Ed will be venturing out there for that one or watching it on the NFHS network. And then next week, pretty full slate. And then, boom, September will be here. College football starts today. I know you are really pumped for the Dublin, Ireland matchup. No, your Notre Dame Fighting Irish are not involved. You'll get over it. You'll live. Last year, you told David Teal on this show Florida State was going to shellac Georgia Tech. Well, what happened was Florida State got beat at the very end, and then they didn't recover much of the season. And speaking of David Teal, the Virginia Sports Hall of Famer is scheduled to join us at top of the hour at 11 o'clock. So we'll talk some college football with the one and only who is as entrenched on everything happening in the Commonwealth and even beyond as anybody in the industry. But man, oh man, it's here, Ed. The summer is pretty much over. Chase is out there saying, go Georgia, go Dogs. Bulldogs always play some tough teams in the SEC. Although the big game, Chase, I know Georgia's got some games to circle. The biggie coming up is going to be Texas and Ohio State. That's the real colossal showdown of showdowns. Georgia might have something to say about national championship, though. But, man, it's here.
Yeah, it is. Not excited about Kansas State, Iowa State. I got Kansas State by a touchdown.
Wait. By a touchdown means it should be an exciting game. But how are you not, ready to break down the line of scrimmage battle between the Wildcats and the Cyclones? And if Kansas State is able to sustain drives and keep Iowa State from getting momentum in this matchup, and talk about third down conversions and the special teams aspect, which I know you love. Don't shake your head. What?
Not this game.
You're still basking in the glory of you being the new Packer coach. I'm sorry.
I said it before. I'm going to say it again.
Head ham.
Love football. Not nearly as much as I love hoops. But what has turned me off about it is this insatiable appetite for this country, talking heads about football. Jerry Jones, Michael Parsons, Aaron Rodgers, can he do anything? College football playoffs, college football, 18 contenders for the title, blah, blah. I am tired of it all. Football is good. No more important.
You sound like
No
Michael
less
Wilmot over
important
there.
than hoops, baseball. It just get its place. Calm it down. Yes, it's here. I'll get excited about football when football weather gets here.
It is. The weather's been awesome. Have you been outside? Where you been living in a cave?
This is not football weather in the
You know
sun.
what it is?
Football
It's
weather
cool weather.
is
It's
in the
cool
fall.
weather, baby.
Blowing leaves. It's chilly out. Put a coat, a sweater on. Hug your babe. That's what football weather is. Yes, not this sunny. It's nice. It's 82 and breezy. That's baseball weather.
You know, stop
That's
it.
outdoor basketball.
You're going to complain about the weather around here. This weather has been fantastic.
Just calm down on the football stuff. It's not life or death.
Nobody said it's life or death. You're just getting in your feelings. I thought you'd say you were tired of Pat McAfee and Dave Portnoy, which I think we'll all
of them dudes. I'm tired of all those dudes.
Hey, but did you watch? I didn't get a chance to watch the Lee Corso special. Lee Corso, who's getting ready to sign off College Game Day. Now he's a treasure. I know you're gonna love you some.
Yeah, Lee is tremendous to watch, and it's sorry that he's only going to do the one game and then step away.
Tell him, Derek, it is a unifier. Football is a unifier of life.
Derek, love you. Calm down. Super glue can bring everybody together. We don't get excited about super glue.
How about we super glue your mouth shut right now?
Calm down. This is unbelievable. This football sensationalism it's just utterly ridiculous. Okay, I'm just going to call it what it is. Utterly ridiculous.
Moo. You sound like a cow over there.
I'm excited today to see my Yankees win one game versus Boston.
This ain't about your Yankees. They stink. They can't score. You want to watch teams that can score.
They hit 9 home runs in one game. Can't hit a home run in 3.
Who cares? They're bad. We don't care about the Yankees.
Almost as bad as the football sensationalism.
Let me tell you something.
Put them 2 in a jar.
Why don't you watch some? You know, there was a good game Thursday night. Why don't you put on a replay of the Las Vegas Aces putting it on the Phoenix Mercury in the WNBA? And don't be knocking the ladies, by the way, because I meant to tell you, you did get some people a few weeks back. Now that we have a moment here, you got them extremely upset and bothered. I might have told you this actually on air, off, I forget, about your comments regarding Angel Reese. So be nice to Angel Reese. She can play, and she's not you act like she was some, not a bum. That's, referring to almost like she can't play worth a lick. So don't be knocking her. Don't be knocking Caitlin Clark. Don't be knocking the WNBA.
No, the only thing that scares me about WNBA and I won't watch is I don't know what's going to be thrown on the court.
Don't go there. Do not go there. Do not go there.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not going there because
you just did. You just did.
If I went to one of them games and got hit by one of them things, boy, I'd be finding somebody in that crowd. That's a little ridiculous stuff. So,
but that has supposedly slowed down. We definitely don't.
Well, I hope so. I hope so.
Yeah, I'm with you because that shouldn't be tolerated anywhere. And by the way, it didn't just happen in WNBA games. It happened in a couple of NFL games. Buffalo Bills game a few years back. It's happened. It's happened at other games. That you know what? If you want to be a crazy fanatic and run on the field or throw objects or put anybody in danger or harm, you should be banned. Period. There's no explanation for why you did something. That's what gets me, by the way. And this is a coach. I had this. Not that incident happened recently, but I had someone try to explain their mess up with an explanation. I know you as coach with kids always tell, no. Didn't ask for an explanation. You messed up. Take accountability and move forward. That's all it is. Yeah, that's right.
And I told you.
People want to explain when they mess up. Yeah.
Right. From a coaching perspective, when you ask a kid why they did something that's quite not right, you expect an answer so I can hear how you think so I can coach you. Mm-hmm. When I tell you messed up, you don't need to open mouth and tell me why. I didn't ask why. I'm telling you what you did, and I'll take care of it from that point on a different way.
Keith stormed the court. Keith stormed the court last time Smithfield hit a buzzer beater in a playoff game at Lake Taylor. We saw it, and he could have really got hurt and trampled, and it could have been bad. So what is real quick, as Chase says, it should be allowed, especially if it's during a big upset. This has been a real hot button topic because we've seen goalposts torn down. It's going to happen again this year. It will. Whether you like it or not, it will. I'm not saying it should. Hear me out. It will. Now there are fines in place, as you know, for certain schools in the SEC and places. What's your feeling on it? Because I get that there's an element that you don't want to take away from the enjoyment or the enthusiasm, the pageantry, the passion of students or fans just wanting to celebrate it. But when it crosses a line, we see it in college basketball and college football especially, there has to be some type of – and especially when you have that many thousands of people, it's never good. I just think there's – I always look at things – you know how it is when you're trying to decide, like for a job, for example, like you with Smithfield. Do the pros outweigh the cons? And for you, the pros outweigh the cons. Field storming, allowed or not, to me, the cons outweigh the pros. More bad things that can happen than good things that can happen out of it. Is that a fair way to view it?
Yeah. When I first said I disagree, I didn't mean you. Chase's comment. I'm going to guess, Chase, are you under?
He's a youngster. He wants to join and celebrate.
Okay. Yeah. That's why. But storming the field in the courts, 100% with Matt. It's way, way, way more cons than pros. I get the jubilation in a way I like it, but you have a mixture of bad emotion with good emotion going on, and that always results in more bad emotion coming out.
Right.
You've got a team that just lost. You got some people mad. You might have fans of the other team mad. They're coming on the court just to bump somebody. It's nothing good of it. And you're ripping down goalposts. And now they got to pay for it. Come on now. It should be outlawed. Those people should be banned from the rest of the year. If it's the last game of the year, they're banned the next year from home games. If you want to celebrate, you celebrate your team in a more normal manner, or, maybe have a get-together, whatever. Even the team's not going to have a celebration. You beat somebody in a regular season game, that's a big win for you. You're not really going to go have a special celebration for it. Playoffs, championship, yeah, they have parades, whatever. But storming fields and courts, absolutely not.
Yeah, you saw Derek said at his age looking for an exit. And, it's just one of those things that where we are, and I hate to say this, I don't wish it, we're going to have a situation where someone's going to get really bad or multiple people really badly hurt or I hate to say even, life-threatening situation, but let's hope they can get those things under control. He says they played Lafayette Friday night. Derek, I think if you're talking about Smithfield, I think they scrimmaged Indian River. I think you're wrong about that. So you got to specify unless he has jumped ship again and he's no longer on the Smithfield bandwagon, in which if that's the case, Keith, you're going to make Coach Young very mad.
Keith,
he's cracked his head over there.
If they played, Keith, what was the score? Because we missed it. And I'm thinking has to be a Bay Rivers game. So
did Lafayette scrimmage somebody else like Sussex Central? Didn't he? And then his other school, Sussex, he's jumping ship again. Is he jumping ship?
Yeah, Keith, clarify yourself if you would, please, because now you got Matt and I confused. We missed.
That does upset me when I hear, because I am a Diamondbacks fan and you are a Yankees fan, but we are not a part of the organizations. So it always drives me nuts when I hear even fans say we. No. Unless you play for, work for, coach for, are technically employed by, it's not a we. You're not a part of the. So yeah, and even graduates do that. They'll say we if you're a graduate of said school. It can be Norfolk State, Old Dominion, whoever. And I know that sounds harsh, but it always gets me like, we were you out there? I guess if you're a graduate, it's not as bad.
Yeah, when you're an alumni, you have a right to say we. When the Yankees are winning big, I will say we.
No, you're not saying we. You have never played for the Yankees, coached for them, broadcasted for them. No.
When they play bad, I say what they are.
No.
So
well, we can't say what you say, nor can we say what Nick Turturro says.
We are very bad right now.
Nor can we say what Frank the Tank says when the Mets mess up, and that happened the other day when
Frank, we all know.
Yeah,
Frank is more show than go, and that's okay.
Frank has been on Cova Sports TV before. Before we take a break, we also want to tell you that at the end of the show today, we're going to do our NFL over-unders for the AFC today. We're going to do the NFC next week, because then the following Thursday, you get your first game out of the chute with the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Dallas Cowboys. America's dream, as I like to call them, not America's team. Sorry, all you Hopes fans out there.
Nightmare.
Well, by the way, you took them as an over last year, didn't hit. But I hate to say that Ed did beat me by a game last year in the NFL over-unders. 17-15 to my 16-16. No, not every year, and you beat me during the regular season for the first time ever in the NFL picks. And we do have a bunch of interviews coming your way. No, high school football, we got a ton of coaches, ton of sound, players included too, plus a special preview show live on Sunday night. And if you miss it on Sunday night here on Cova Sports TV, it'll replay in Hampton Roads, Fredericksburg, Northern Virginia. That's right. We are on Cox Communications in Yearview, which I know in the Hampton Roads market is channel 60. You see it on the screen there. 77 Fredericksburg, 9 Roanoke, 74 Nova. As we break down the 5 districts, Bay Rivers, Beach, Southeastern, Eastern, and Peninsula with picks, how they'll finish top 4. Players of the year, offense, defense. Our man behind the scenes, Jack Lowe at Cova Sports TV, has been putting some snazzy graphics together so you can see our mugs and the logos and all that good stuff when we do that show coming up on Sunday night. As we mentioned, David Till coming up at the top of the hour. So a lot going on this particular episode as Lynn Burke chimes in. Oh, another Hall of Fame worthy person wants to congratulate you on your new gig. And he says, yes, it's football season, so stop whining and complaining and just enjoy life. You're back on the sidelines. Be happy.
I can't be more happy than being back on the sidelines. Lynn, again, I want to shout out to Lynn, too. He's one of the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, and I mean that sincerely, that reached out and said something nice to read, and I appreciate that, Lynn. So, yes, it's football season, but it's not yet football weather.
Ooh, stop it. What do you want football weather to be? Do you have a certain degree it has to hit? I mean, you're driving me nuts with
64 degrees, chill in the air, 64 degrees. Remember, them kids are under helmets, pads all over them. They can't play in 80-degree weather. It'd be 100 degrees on the field. They'd be passing out. You don't care because you get your football fix. I care about the kiddies.
Texans AFC champs is pretty bold, Chase. We'll go through the AFC and see what we have for their
that's not happening. That's not happening.
Woody says, good morning. Well, you didn't think the Commanders would make the NFC championship game last year. So I don't think it's as big a stretch and far-fetched, but I might make him mad by saying I think Jacksonville has as good a chance to win that division as the Texans do advancing in the AFC playoffs. Because I do think they're probably a playoff team. And they were last year, and they beat the Chargers in last year's playoffs. Beating Justin Herbert. Good morning
to Woody, but yeah, I don't.
And
see
Gene
that.
Jones chiming in too. He says good morning.
Yeah, Gino is another guy that sent me the congrats. Gino, I'm back on that sideline and excited for it. And again, once again, thanks for taking a little time out there to throw some accolades my way. Appreciate you.
All right, we have a bunch of interview clips. We didn't get to the ones with Louisa's Dajir Carter, the Rutgers commit wide receiver. His teammate, by the way, 5-star Savion Hyder, running back, chose Michigan Ed over the Ohio State, the rival, who they've beaten the last couple of years, as well as Georgia. Sorry, Chase. And his other team that was a finalist for his services. I'm trying to blank on who that is for some reason right now. I don't know why brain's afraid. But anyways, we have him as well as Coach Will Patrick. We have Deep Creek's Andre Twine, Bethel's David Porter, Amari Pryor, and Derek Fisher. Just a bunch of interviews. So we'll come on back and do some of those clips when we return here on Cova Sports TV. Make sure you like, make sure you share, and most importantly, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube. You can always interact with us each and every Saturday morning and when we are live. So stick around. More's coming your way. It is 757 Sports Talk.
Did you know that the minimum limits in Virginia are $30,000? $30,000 is a lot of money on an individual basis, but if you're involved in a personal injury matter, that's not enough. Here at Williams Lloyd's, we're happy to provide a consultation on the amount of coverage you have in your vehicle. It can be confusing. Not many people understand it. You know you need to have it, but do you have enough? Give us a call today at 757-547-5555 so we can help you prepare in the case of an automobile accident or any other personal injury matter that you or your family may find yourself in.
For any athlete, making it to the top sometimes comes with a few steps back. That's why there's CHKD Sports Medicine. Advanced diagnostics, treatment, and rehabilitation for sports injuries, just for young athletes like yours.
What's up at DQ? Oh, just the best deal ever! The $7 bacon cheeseburger meal deal. Bacon cheeseburger, fries, drink, and a sundae. No time to be modest. It's all full size for just $7 right now at DQ. Happy tastes good.
Well, it's everybody's favorite time of year again. Time to prepare to make your annual donation to that Infernal Revenue Service. And if you're like me, you need help. Help to keep that donation as small as possible. So get off your W-2 and call John Maynard at John's Tax Service. 455-6763.
As a banker at Town Bank, we believe that people bank with people, not with banks. You're looking for an actual personal relationship, and that's what you get at our bank. You get that person that gets to know you, gets to know your business, is there for you. I think that is what motivates us, what drives us, and the idea that we are trying to serve others and enrich lives, I think is very true.
All right, we're getting ready for the high school football season, and we're joined by the Deep Creek head man, Andre Twine, after his team's preseason scrimmage with Bethel. Coach, always going to get some good work against an unfamiliar opponent from the PD.
Yeah.
What did you see from your guys out here tonight?
Oh, flew to the ball. I mean, we want to run our base stuff, see how we react to that. We knew Bethel was going to be a really physical team, aggressive team. And we had some mistakes we made, but we're going to correct them going to Currituck.
You have a giant man on the offensive line for you, number 7, also plays some defense for you. I know he's a junior and newcomer to football. Tell us about him.
Yeah, Terry Jackson, man. His first year playing football. He played basketball. He said, I want to come play football. And he's been doing well. He's still some work in progress, but we should like what we're seeing from him right now.
What's he checking in at roughly, height and weight?
It's about 6'4", about 235.
All right, so he can pick you up and throw you around a little bit.
Oh, I hope not.
Yeah, he might be doing some running here.
Yes.
Certainly, the games are won in the trenches. How much are you going to count on guys like him and Trayvon Litton to kind of set the tone for you?
Oh, I got the line. They're 3-year starters, so we expect them to carry the line, carry our run game and our pass game, what we're doing, establish the line scrimmage. And I know we had some mistakes this week because Bethel, they flew off the ball really good this day. And we're going to be fine, though. Sure. We'll be fine.
I'll come more let you run here. Talk about Mike Jones. I know he's a returning for you, number 3. Both sides of the ball, he's making plays throughout the scrimmage, including a screen in the second half. And he was big in your upset last year of Cox in the playoffs.
Yeah, Mike, hey, we're going to feed him the ball. So Mike is a very special player among the Deep Creek guys, and he's going to make some big plays for us this season.
What's different about this Deep Creek football team compared to years past? I know you're still getting an identity and learning some of the guys. They're getting also, accustomed to the terminology and the scheme. But what do you think is unique about this team?
I think what you just said, we have a mix of young, skilled guys and experienced lines. So the rest we got today was great for us going to Currituck. All we want to do is make the corrections to be correct going to next Thursday. We should be good to go.
Sure. Defense a little further ahead than the offense this time of year. Is that generally the case?
That's always the case. With defense, always responsible, a little faster. Offense, we still some things we're trying to experiment with, but we got some things coming up. Come town against Currituck.
Sure. Lastly, to get that taste in the playoffs last year in Region 5, we've talked about so much about the Southeast District being so competitive with the Oscar Smiths, the Kings Forks, the Indian Rivers, the Dance Rivers, and so on and so forth. What did it do for the confidence of the group and the kids coming back?
Hey, big time confidence, knowing that this is the expectation. Since I've been here, we've been in the playoffs, so that's just the level we're going to be at. And at the end of the day, we know now this is very, very tough, but we're going to get through it, and we're going to play hard.
Well, you're going to experience some Purple Thunder when you come out to Nathan T. Hardy Stadium in Chesapeake. Coach Andre Twine of the Deep Creek Hornets, thank you so much, and we'll talk again soon.
Yes, sir.
This is 757 Saturday Sports Talk. Here are Matt Hatfield and Coach Ed Young.
So you heard from Deep Creek's Andre Twine, Purple Thunder in the house as they're getting ready for their season opener coming up against the Currituck County squad out of North Carolina. Back here on 757 Sports Talk. Like, share, and subscribe here to Cova Sports TV. We had Trayvon Litton on one of our recent episodes as well, one of the defensive ends who's got some offers for the next level. So you'll hear from some more high school football coaches as we move it forward on this particular episode. But Ed, I know something has got you a little bit disturbed this morning as we see Brandon Lee up there say, where is Coach Young's, or what is Coach Young's rant? I guess it's now. There is a name change. A seismic name change in intercollegiate athletics. And by the way, speaking of intercollegiate athletics, I got to shout out our man, Jim Heath Bar 757 on the IG. He said it's football season and soccer and volleyball and cross country, field hockey for those in college athletics. Ha ha. And he's one of the very best, by the way. And Jim just got honored this past week. I don't know if you saw it. He got named the Bruce Winkworth official scorer of the year. So shout out to Jim. He's one of the best. Does all the numbers. I've known him from his days, Hampton, Old Dominion, Prentice School. His dad was a legend, and he's just fantastic. So big part.
Congrats out to Jim. I did see that. I reached out to him too. That guy, that's a guy that does so many things, and he does most all of them well, and at least very good, and gets not hardly any praise for it. And finally, somebody gave him something. Now, somebody might say scorekeeper. Let me tell you something. It is extremely hard to find somebody who can keep score of any sport action, get it right to the point of perfection, because I haven't seen it. At the high school level, I've tried to train some youngsters. They're high school people. Usually get a female because they're more focused on getting something done. And I've gotten some technical fouls because they had the wrong numbers in the book. Yep. And I wanted to shake them, but I said, nope, that could be my daughter. So I want to verbally abuse them, whatever. And it's my fault for whatever reason. But Jim, congrats. Keep it going. I saw Brandon Adair. I'll say some on there. Come on, Brandon. You got to come on. We got to get you as a guest.
Well, let's get to that. And by the way, Chase, we will discuss the Lake Taylor Nance River scrimmage. We've got Hank Sawyer coming up, and you'll hear from on our preview show Sunday night the Syracuse commit and Tyrell Grant, the quarterback. But for those that have no idea what we're talking about, Virginia Wesleyan University, which was once Virginia Wesleyan College, it recently became a university about, I want to say 3, 4, 5 years ago. Fill me in if I'm wrong out there. Someone give me the exact year and time. Doesn't really matter. It's becoming Batten University. Yes, they have the Jane P. Batten Center, which is where the basketball facility, you shake your head. Let me finish this before you go into this. They have that building that they did for basketball. But on Wednesday, they had a press conference to officially announce this. And Virginia Wesleyan is going to have this go into effect, this moniker, on July the 1st of 2026. It got approved by the school's board of trustees, and it's named for that local philanthropist and board member, Jane Batten. That's also the widow of Frank Batten, who was the former publisher of the Virginian Pilot for many, many years. And again, they're no strangers to Wesleyan. Daughter enrolled in the school in the late 70s. Then Jane Batten got very much involved, joined the school's board of trustees in the early 80s, and she became the first woman to be named chair of the board. They've made a bunch of donations to the school, $22 million facility I mentioned, the center of the campus, which has the basketball games. And we know what a great program they have in basketball, led by Dave Macedo, who's won a national championship. They've got an awesome softball program led by Brennan Elliott, who's won championships as well, and a lot of very good athletic programs over there. $80.3 million endowment, the Greer Environmental Sciences Center, $20 million project. Done a lot there. They've also funded more than 24 other projects to the university. And last year, Jane Batten donated $100 million, Ed, to William and Mary to expand the marine science program. Now, they haven't renamed William and Mary, William, Mary, and Jane. But anywho, it's really got people up in arms. And it feels like the alums, students, hundreds of people, and I dare say thousands attached to this university were blindsided by this. And then a day after the officials at Virginia Wesleyan announced this name change going into effect again next July the 1st, a petition opposing this change is circulating with around 2,000 signatures. What's your take? Go ahead, unload now, because I see you got your finger up. Go ahead. The floor is yours.
Make that 2001 signature. Somebody pass me the clipboard so I can sign it. What are we doing? Now, let me first preface some things here. I don't want to step on toes, embarrass anybody. I'm not part of the Virginia Wesleyan family. I love going to the games. Campus is absolutely fantastic campus. I had never went to the school as an undergrad, but I hear the kids that have loved it. It's a great place. I have a problem with the name change because what was wrong with Virginia Wesleyan? And again, I'm going to let my ignorance come through as it sometimes does. To me, this is a money grabber. Yes, the Batten family. And again, to the Battens, there's no words I can give to say thank you for what you have done for the schools, not just one, schools, the money, the kind of money you're putting out, continually doing. Unbelievable, and thank you so much. And I'm not involved with that, but there's not a word that I can come up with that would do justice to what they have given. To give the name, a complete name change to just a family person, I don't see it. It is a slap in the face to all the grads.
Here you go. Here's a comment real quick. You see Delisa Banks up there. You remember her son, Andre, who played at Great Bridge and for Virginia Wesleyan. He's an alum, not happy with the change.
Right. And again, this is what I'm saying. Here's my, I want to rant hard, but I don't, because it sounds like we're going against the Batten family, which we're not. Let's get that straight.
Well, let me get to that. So where is this change being rooted from? Because Jane's come out and said this was not my idea or reasoning. Does this fall at the feet of, and again, not trying to make, a personal attack on anybody, the president, Dr. Scott Miller here? Was he the one that put this into motion? I'm just saying this out loud. And like you, I think money has taken over, and it feels like, and this is maybe I'm getting a little stronger on words. I might have a rant more than you here. It feels like they have stripped the school and its alums of its identity. That name is a fabric of the university. If you're going out and recruiting like Coach Masita or Coach Elliott or anybody, and they say Baton University, what's the attachment? Where's the factor there? And I'll tell you who's someone who had the best comment about this, maybe of all of us. Got to give my man Jalen Donahue a shout out. Jalen, Jalen working with Boo Williams over there. He said, man, give that lady a couple buildings and call it a day. Do y'all know how much it costs to change a whole school name? He's right. You could do some other things to honor and recognize, and they have the Baton Center, which she has, to change the entire name of the university. I mean,
that's my point. I was going to get to that, where you name the gym, name a building, name a field, whatever. That, to me, that's a lot in itself. The name of the entire school, no, that we stop right there. You can't do it. It is a slap to all the former alumni because they graduated from Virginia Wesleyan University, which as of July 1st, 26, that name will be gone. And you can't say, well, yeah, no, you can have it. You graduate. It's Baton University now. Come on now. And you're right. Going out and recruiting and saying, can't wait for you playing for Baton. Batting what? I'm hitting a home run? What do you mean? No, not that guy. So you got to start explaining things, and that's where you get a problem. I'm not for it. Never have been for it. I'm tired of where money talks to that situation. And we already know it talks to that situation. Had she given a couple thousand, okay, this would never happen. But we're talking millions. So it's a little different. But I'm not happy for it all.
But this brings up a bigger issue, Ed, in sports. We've seen all these name changes take place. We've seen in professional sports, in the NFL, and in Major League Baseball, the Washington Redskins, yes, I said the name, oh my gosh, become the Washington football team, then the Washington Commanders. We've seen the Cleveland Indians become the Cleveland Guardians. And there are other name changes, high school changes we've seen in our state. The names like Robert E. Lee, Confederate Lee, gone. It becomes Stanton High School. You see certain schools change their name. Jeb Stewart, no more. There's certain names that happen. Is it, and we've seen even our commander-in-chief get involved with this, with wanting the name to be changed back with the pro football team. I know you're going to get on a rant about that, but at what point is it too much of the name change? It feels like this is worse, though, because you're changing an entire university, and some of those franchises may have monikers that have some inflammatory to me, there's nothing inflammatory about this. It does feel like this is all done for financial purposes. Similar to like if you were to have, per se, well, I'm going to get myself in trouble. No, I'm not, because I'm not employed by them anymore. A radio station changed its name to a car dealership. Oh, yeah, that happened, didn't it? Oops. Woodrow Wilson become the manor, as someone just posted as well. We'll put that on the screen.
Yeah, nicknames, I don't have a problem with changing. School names, where there's some history about, like we said, with the Confederacy back in slavery and all that. I can agree with those kind of changes too. If you start digging into the name of the person who, school's named after, then we kind of see what they stood for. But no, I can go for those kind of name changes, and Trump needs to keep his Trump. Once again.
You're diving into politics. Here you go.
Down. Trump, please lower my gas bills, my groceries, and stop worrying about nicknames and changing names. And now he's riding a police car.
Why is that his responsibility? Maybe it's your responsibility to get your gas bill to not drive as much, or change how you eat in your shopping. Why is it his responsibility?
Government.
You always want to pin the blame on somebody else. Why don't you take accountability, like we talked about earlier in the show? Accountability. Take accountability for your own mishap.
Responsibility is to help the citizens that they govern over. Period. I'm not going.
That's a good one by our man Risser. Change the name to the Orioles. That'd be good. Yeah.
Why would they change the name to the Orioles? And the Orioles already suck as one of the worst teams in baseball.
Whoa!
I mean, it is this year. And don't forget, I'm the one who picked them to win the division. All right.
That's why it's your fault. You put the kibosh on them. By the way, I'm disappointed in you. I was expecting, like I know Brandon was, you to be fierce and throwing things and turning red with the rant. You have let us down today. Where's the emotion? Where's the
You got to have intelligent rants. This involves a person, the Battens who donate money. When you go on a rant, it'll come across as, oh, so you're downing this person because they got money you don't have. No.
I just think it's actually, well, you know what though? It is shameful is a strong word, but it is offensive.
Saying.
It's offensive. No, it's offensive to people that have poured their blood, sweat, and tears, sweat equity, their lives for this university, whether they work there, play there, coach there. And again, was there any whispers about this happening? This came out of left field. Total left field.
They should have put a questionnaire out to the alumni, only the alumni.
Vote, or we just go to the board of trustees and we say this amount of money, rubber stamp of approval, bang. That's how it happens.
That's what it comes across as. Yeah. And
kind of like that local radio station that changed its name to a card. Oops, I said that aloud, didn't I? I don't work for me anymore, so I don't have to worry about it. So,
but if the board is just rubber stamping and passing, and it goes to show, is there money involved? Are we getting money? Okay. And see, that's why I'm a little trepid with this, is because it's being named after a person who has done unbelievable with their money to put towards that. So that's how I get at it.
Well, look, and I do feel like there is a sense, and again, you saw Delisa's comment. I do feel like there's a sense, because I'm just reading social media posts, because there's a lot of them out there. I do wonder, I guess you could say it, athletic administration, and that goes at the top, president, where is the compassion and care for the entire student body here? I think is it all about the almighty dollar here? Is that really what it all comes down to?
Until somebody proves me wrong 100%. Brandon Adair just said, hey, I would come on 3 to 5 minutes. I'd rather hear Brandon Adair's opinion than mine.
Yeah, but you're going to ask him 25 NBA referee questions, which we're not going to let you do.
So he's scared that the league's going to find out what I ask him, and then he's going to get in trouble. Adair's one of the better officials in the NBA as it is. Yes, he's got stories that he won't give out publicly, because he thinks I'm going to pull out the dirt on him and whatever. Brandon, I love you to death, man. Get out of that shadow. If the NBA gets rid of you, the WNBA will take you up in a second. Only problem is you're going to have to pick up a lot of crap off the doggone floor.
Oh, did you have to go there again? You just love bringing it up. By the way, Derek loved that dig.
Brandon, keep the ladies safe.
Derek loved that dig, by the way. Yeah, people ask me what happened to ESPN around here. I said, I don't know. I don't work for them anymore. I couldn't tell you. I work for Cova Sports TV, though, and we have more coming your way, including David Teal at the top of the hour. And we always encourage your interaction.
Somebody give us $10 million. I changed the name of everything on here, including this guy right here. Changed his name for $10 million, $5 million.
So you're telling me you're telling me you don't care about integrity and all those things. It's all about the almighty dollar. You would be a sellout. You would be a sellout.
They change the name of this for money. Put me down. I'm signing that petition first and foremost. Absolutely. It's not a school. It's not our tradition's a little different.
Look, you got a new there you go. Your new thing says you're ready to be a sellout, ladies and gents. By the way, Risser wants to know, are we going to show up to a game to get you ejected? Absolutely. AJ, how about we get a bunch of Orioles fans and whoever. Now I'm going to make Pat Doolin and Keith mad when I say this. We're going to get a bunch of the biggest rival for Smithfield. Who's your biggest rival in the Bay Rivers? Do you have a number one biggest rival?
That's a good question. I don't know that.
That's a good question. Keith, Derek, I want people to chime in. Who is Smithfield's biggest rival?
Smithfield people have to tell us who our biggest rival is.
Now, listen, I can't root. I got to be impartial and be a reporter. But I'll let Risser get a band of Orioles fans to heckle Ed, and then we'll get whoever Smithfield's biggest rival. They can sit opposite side of the gym, just like when you played Western Branch and they'd yell, "Sweat, Ed, sweat." They can just heckle you till you get ejected by whatever official decides to give you 2 T's, which is inevitably going to happen at some point. So,
I'm going to, among some of the ideas I have, one of my ideas, we're going to have a.
Jay says it's New Kent. Is New Kent your biggest rival?
That's interesting. I would not pick New Kent as a big rival. New Kent's been basketball-wise, been very good lately. So, biggest rival showing up on time. No,
that's a great one. That was perfect. AJ's knocking about the park today.
Rival, that's a personal situation. And the thing about that is, I'm being grabbed and torn in a lot of different directions. I want trying to let people, when I got to do something, let me go do it first. and then I will get back and take care
Listen,
of all.
I got to give you credit, AJ. I got to praise Coach Young for a second. Not only is he an accomplished basketball coach with a Hall of Fame resume with 500 plus wins, and I don't want to say we're this out this too long and say this out loud too much, but I will say I was contacted by a specific Hall of Fame. I can't say who or what. I don't want to give it away, but I can tell you this on the show without saying where, when, what, that you are a finalist for one of the Hall of Fames. But anywho, you're a Hall of Fame coach. However, he is, as AJ said, awful about showing up on time. But if you missed our interview from a few months back, we had on NFL wide receiver Keandre Lambert out of Maury High School in Norfolk, who went to Penn State and then finished up his college career in the SEC at Auburn. And Keandre told the story about how his uncle Cam Chancellor, also out of Maury High School, former NFL Pro Bowl safety of the Seahawks, left Keandre at the house, at the crib, because he was a minute tardy for their departure to go to the movies. So ever since that story has been told and shared here on Cova Sports TV, and we had a bunch of, we had like 100 of comments from Chargers fans that watched it. They loved his interview. He was great with us, even though he went in and out a couple of times. We appreciate his time, giving us about 30 minutes. Ever since that interview, I have to say this out loud. I think Coach has been tardy only one time in our last, 15, 20 shows. So if the message has gotten across to you, you have gotten the message and you have delivered in a very small way, but you have done what you needed to do to be better on time. You have made it a priority without making it a priority. And I won't say priority too much because I'm giving that sponsor too much love. You get what I'm saying there? Go ahead.
Right. I don't even remember. I kind of remember now that you brought it back up. Thanks, Rob. Appreciate you, man, as always. Make sure you come and visit us because Rob, I tell you what, Rob gives a referee some craziness and he knows some basketball. So Rob got to come out and see us play. I'm being a teacher and a coach on time is like high on the list of things. And of course, I think I gave that story about, I forget who, it might have been Bobby Knight, but it's one of them big time coaches said that about getting on the bus. It might even have been Morgan Wooten, high school.
Speaking of the bus, I have a question to follow up. Go ahead. Continue your story. I'm glad you brought the word bus. Go ahead.
The idea is whoever this coach was, he came, got on the bus, and hey, bus is leaving at this time. I don't give a darn about anything. We're gone. So they got on the bus and they leave. They get to the game where they're playing. Coach gets off the bus, sees the players, daps them up. Then he realizes, hey, we're missing somebody. Okay, let's call it Matt. Where's Matt? The assistant coaches had their head down. He said, hey, man, where's Matt? He's not on a bus. Best player, 30 points a game. Coach, Matt had called us and said he's going to be a little bit late. Parents, tire blew out. Parents fixing the tire. Can you hold up a little bit because he might be late for the bus? And then the coach looked at him and said, so you didn't tell me this at all? And he said, Coach, you said. I said we're leaving at 4 o'clock. It's 4 o'clock. We're out of here. I don't want to hear nothing. So when you left, so the coach later on realized he screwed up because in the game of life, which we're trying to teach people, things do happen. Yeah. That's going to have a setback. All right. So be careful when you paint the floor that when you finish painting, you're by the door to walk out. If you're in a corner, you've got to walk on the paint job now. You screwed it up. So here's what I do now as how you learn. I'm giving a secret in coaching away right now. Young coaches, write it down. When you come to an away game and it's time to leave, you tell your coaches, hey, I'm going to be there in 36 seconds. Is everybody ready to go?
36 seconds.
No, Coach. Matt's not here. Oh, okay. All right. I'm going to delay a little bit. Hurry up and hit me up as soon as he shows up. The minute he shows up, I'm right around the corner. I'm coming in. We're getting on a bus, and away we go. And then if it's little Jimmy who's late, our 13th man, and has no reason, we're not waiting. We're gone. When we got Matt on the bus at 30 points a game, I'm good to go. So I show up.
That's playing favorites. That ain't right. That's playing favorites. Hey, that's like Red Auerbach telling Bill Russell, you go ahead.
You don't treat them all equally. You treat them all fairly.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I heard that. Well, but one last thing before we go to break here, because we do have David Till coming up top of the hour. you brought up the word bus. So I did have a couple of inquiring minds that want to know. And you can comment me if you like, because that's one of your favorite things as a coach to do, a reporter like me. Will you be riding the bus with the team to games, or will you be taking the Ed Young mobile? Say something funny.
Always on the bus. You gotta hop on the bus, Gus. You gotta have a plan, Stan. You gotta know what's going on, man. Okay.
You're becoming a rhymer now.
Can you dig it? You gotta understand new situation, new things going on. I'm excited. Let's get on the bus, Gus.
Yeah. Well, we're excited that football is back, and we've got more pigskin talk coming your way, a couple more interviews too. It is 757 Sports Talk on Cova Sports TV. We have a quick timeout to take before you hear from another one of those coaches around the 757, as the high school football games will get going on Thursday. We'll actually put up a schedule for some of the games that are coming up on Thursday and Friday around the 757 area code to give you a chance to peruse it. Keith was saying Smithfield Lafayette. He meant they play next Friday. We'll see if Ed Young is there to root on the Packers or not. We'll find that out as we move along here on 757 Sports Talk. Like, share, and subscribe to Cova Sports TV, and we'll be back in just a moment. Stay tuned.
What makes a life a good one? Is it our adventures? Or the friends we find along the way? Is it the challenges we conquer together? Maybe it's the people's lives we touch every single day. So, what makes a life a good one? You'll have to figure that one out for yourself.
What is more? Is it more reps, more strength, more stamina? We say it's all of that, but it's greater than just what's in the mirror. It's about improving your mental and physical health. More is a feeling of achievement, fulfillment, confidence. It's looking better, feeling better, being better, and it's our mission to get you there, because here you are more. One Life Fitness.
I'm here with the Bethel head football coach, David Porter, after his Bruins preseason scrimmage with the Deep Creek Hornets here in Chesapeake. Coach, 2025 campaign is fast upon us here. Tell me what you saw here tonight from your group. You got some touchdowns, you got some celebrations, and your guys made some plays out here.
Yeah, we're only guys about celebrating. Like that's we count that as a loaf if they don't go celebrate.
Right.
I don't think people realize how hard it is to score a touchdown. But we saw a lot of good things out of the guys that we thought were going to be players. They were players. We saw some young guys step up, make some plays. Odell really asserted himself. Alex looked good. Maury was Maury. Derek didn't get any offensive snaps. That was done intentionally. Shorts back, he made a couple plays, so I'm feeling good. The line just got to continue to gel.
Let's hit on some of those guys. You mentioned Odell Pinckney for you on defense, one of the first guys that popped out here. I know he's a 4-year starter, and you got Jaden Shortback, who is a wide receiver. Amari Prayer's committed to Hampton University at running back, and Derek Fisher's a talent. We'll talk about the class of 2027 with a bunch of offers so far. But Pinckney's a guy you're going to count on a lot defensively, because I know you're not as big up front, but certainly you want to be active, and he's one of those guys that makes you active.
Right, Odell he's extremely strong. He's a football player, weight room kid. Handle the classroom, take the leadership role. We tell guys all the time with leadership, man, you got to do the right things. He's doing all the right things.
And then for Alex Lewis, newcomer for you at quarterback, stepping in that role, what are you expecting out of him and asking out of him in terms of commanding your offense?
We command the offense, like getting guys lined up, making the calls. It's got to be a little bit more vocal. That's something new for him. Leading drives. We told him at the end, we don't want them to get the ball back. I need you to finish the drive off. Made good decisions with the ball. We told him completions were a big thing. He's done well with it.
Pryor's committed to Hampton University at running back, top rusher, back in the area at 1,580 yards, 24 touchdowns. What makes him so unique out there?
Strong. He's strong. His balance is amazing. And again, I know people probably tired of hearing me say it, but on carry 25, he's the same back as he was on carry 1. Like he has a lot of endurance. He doesn't complain. He works. Weight room is like, people eat 3 times a day. He lifts probably 3 times a day.
Yeah.
But he's a good kid, man. Another one in the classroom, 3.6 GPA, handles business.
Sure. When you're kin to Michael Vick, it's a cousin, the new Norfolk State football coach, and also Dwight Vick, by the way, also kin to him too. Was a heck of a lineman in his day. You're a pretty unique prospect, and I don't know that Derek Fisher knows how good he can be. Do you sense the same thing?
He's a extremely humble kid.
Yeah.
So he's not going to say he doesn't know. It's a lot of things that we have to tell him. But I mean, his talent is limitless. he's doing different things for us. Again, Nello took a leadership role early. He's done everything we asked. He shows up. He doesn't miss. He doesn't miss a lift. He was out the last couple of weeks with a foot injury. Got cleared last week. He's been in practice. I didn't play him on offense intentionally. I didn't let him get any snaps. He played defense. I'm good with that. I like what he did. Got an interception. Kind of got the guys lined up and straight. So he's doing what we asked of him.
Yeah, and smooth out there, catching passes. We saw the ODU 7-on-7, mobile and athletic. We saw quarterback, but defensive back could be a spot for the next level, right?
That's where everybody. Yeah. I think it's only one school that really told him, hey, we take you either way. We just want to get you. Yeah. But most people see him as a safety.
Unsung guy is Jaden Short, right? I mean, it feels like this could be a year where he had a good year last year, but he can really take off potentially.
He can. He's another one that's got to not be deemed. Like, got to put on some muscle. You get that weight room time in. He's a hard worker. He shows up. He does what we ask. He has a lot of ability. Like, he hasn't got the show because he was behind Vic as a freshman. And then last year, the running game was really well. Derek ran the ball well at quarterback. Although he made second team at kick return, he'll get a shot to show a lot this year at receiver.
And lastly, when you play in the same district with Phoebus, who's got the state's longest winning streak, 4-time state champs, the storied Hampton Crabbers with their history, Warwick, who's been really good the last few years with over 30 wins and playoff trips. You're not going to get a ton of attention, but it feels like more and more buzz around your program. How are we going to be talking more and more about Bethel this year, or what's it going to take for us to be talking more and more about Bethel?
We actually want to fly below the radar.
Okay.
Every time somebody asks, I just continue to say we just try and get the guys to line up right. We just want the guys to stay level-headed, keep working, and show up and continue to do the things that has people trying to talk about us now. It's nice, but again, you don't win no paper. You don't win any games in newspaper. So we just, we want to show up and play every week, be consistent, not turn the ball over, get off the field on third down.
Well, thank you so much. All the best, and we'll talk again soon.
Thank you.
This is 757 Saturday Sports Talk with Matt Hatfield and Coach Ed Young.
All right, we're back here on 757 Sports Talk. You heard from David Porter of the Bethel Bruins. Ed, before we take a quick time out and bring in the Hall of Famer David Till to talk about college football as the action is revving up here, we'll do our picks on Sunday night, our special live preview show, Peninsula, Bay Rivers, Beach, Eastern, and Southeastern. But Bethel could be one of those surprises this year, right?
Yeah, I think they can. Unfortunately, in the Peninsula District, we talk about the juggernaut Phoebus is. So we start with them, Then after that, could be a little bit topsy-turvy. I know we talk Hampton, their tradition, Warwick the last few years, and then we start looking at Bethel. Denby's a team I'm looking hard at. And then we don't even talk about anybody else because Phoebus's shadow is so big. But Bethel can sneak up on some of those people. And, it's not far-fetched to say they can almost leapfrog Warwick and Hampton and be right behind Phoebus. I think Bethel has that in them. And like Coach said, we just trying to fly under the radar, keep our kids focused, understand where they're lining up at first. Don't get caught up in all that talk, because sometimes high school kids, being immature as they are, do get caught up in that kind of situation. And it's hard for the coaches to really keep them focused, because all that white noise, we call it, all that, we got to stop listening to that and just take care of business today.
Yeah, there's been a lot of Peninsula greats over the years, names like Ronald Curry and Taj Boyd and Tyrod Taylor and Allen Iverson and, Michael Vick. Yeah, we're going to talk about Michael Vick leading Norfolk State when we come back with a guy who's documented so many of these great players when they were high school studs, then went on to the pros, and now they're coaching. That's David Teal, the Virginia Sports Hall of Famer with the Virginia Pilot and Daily Press. When we come back after this quick timeout, you're watching 757 Sports Talk. Like, share, and subscribe to Cova Sports TV, and we'll be back in just a moment.
It's 757 Saturday Sports Talk with Matt Hatfield and the one and only Coach Ed Young, every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. on Cova Sports TV. From high school football and basketball to the NFL, MLB, college sports, and the NBA, if it's making headlines, they are breaking it down. Bold takes, big-time guests, and a few laughs, especially at the expense of that basketball coach Ed Young. Catch it on Cox TV and your view, and don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube at Cova Sports TV.
What is more? Is it more reps, more strength, more stamina? We say it's all of that, but it's greater than just what's in the mirror. It's about improving your mental and physical health. More is a feeling of achievement, fulfillment, confidence. It's looking better, feeling better, being better. And it's our mission to get you there. Because here, you are more. One Life Fitness.
As a banker at Town Bank, we believe that people bank with people, not with banks. You're looking for an actual personal relationship, and that's what you get at our bank. You get that person that gets to know you, gets to know your business, is there for you. I think that is what motivates us, what drives us, and the idea that we are trying to serve others and enrich lives, I think is very true.
What did the one nut say to the other nut in a game of tag? I'm a cashew. Let's go back to 757 Saturday Sports Talk, where the coach Ed Young will never catch Matt Hatfield on Cova Sports TV.
And we have a special guest with us now. He is the Hall of Famer of the Virginia Sports Hall of Fame, recently inducted a few years back, works for the Virginia Pilot and Daily Press. You can give him a follow on the X or the Twitter when you're not reading the newspaper in Hampton Roads with the Daily Press or Virginia Pilot. Of course, you can find it online too at pilotonline.com, dailypress.com. Again, find him on the X or the Twitter at by David Teal. How are you, my friend? How's the summer been? It's pretty much done now, right?
Gentlemen, good morning. Coach, congratulations on your return to the sideline. Love seeing that. And happy week 0 to all who celebrate.
Hey, David, I appreciate it. Thank you. The rumor is true. I will be back on the sidelines if the good Lord lets me get to December when the games start. I'm excited about the opportunity. This past year was not good to me. I'm not coaching. I went out and saw a million games, won them all. So I figured, let me get back on the sideline and see what I learned.
Go undefeated yet again.
Well, I don't know about going undefeated, but I was last year. But
that's right.
And I can't. This will give me a chance to get back on the sideline and get away from this crazy nut right here, the Hatfield dude.
Well, I'm actually glad, David, because Ed went to more games last year. You know, also doing the OD women's basketball broadcasting and all the things I have going on in addition to covering high school sports and so forth. He went to more games than I did, and he would be hitting me up every night literally for a game. I'm like, Ed, I'm tired. I need a break. So he's just a junkie, as you know these guys are. My quick question before we dive in on the college football matters. We got a game today in Dublin. It's Iowa State and Kansas State. An ACC team, by the way, is taking on Hawaii. Yeah, that ACC team is Stanford. And, of course, we'll talk Hokies, Who's, ODU, JMU, and Norfolk State with Michael Vick. But I teased it before break. You've covered a lot of these greats like Vick in high school. Have you ever covered a Smithfield game, number one? And number two, what is the most memorable high school game of the many you've covered and seen so many of the greats like Curry, Iverson, Vick, among others?
I don't think I've ever done a Smithfield basketball game. I moseyed out there for a football game back in the day. Couldn't tell you who it was against.
Okay.
Probably the most memorable high school game was Mike Smith and Ronald Curry against Phoebus. I couldn't peg the year where it went overtime, and instead of kicking the extra point to force a second overtime, Mike Smith said, "The heck with this, we're going for 2," and they made it. And Darling came about unhinged.
Wow. Yeah, that had to be mid-90s because there was – and I love – you probably seen it on YouTube too, which our show was streaming here on Cova Sports TV in addition to being televised on all the different social media platforms. They have that Hampton Schools channel, that media dump they did with all these great games of the 90s. And if people haven't seen them and it didn't live in that era like you did, documenting it and chronicling it so well, it is fun to go back and watch those games that were broadcasted on the local channel there and see some of those neat things. But now it is Michael Vick coaching at Norfolk State. It's hard to believe in many ways, David, as much as UVA and Virginia Tech and even Old Dominion and James Madison are storylines that we all follow and certainly will follow closely. It feels like Vick is going to upstage things here in the Commonwealth. You were at his press conference like we were back in December, and there's a lot of buzz, a lot of mystery. What is a fair year one for Michael Vick? And is it unfair to judge him after this first season? And I'm sure you're quite intrigued like most of us are.
Yeah, you can't. Brand new coach, brand new staff, brand new team. So how do you judge it? And that's going to be, I think it's going to be nuanced. How's the communication on the sidelines? Just the game day operation. And I'm going to be watching that as much as anything on Thursday night against Towson, because this is a group that's never done it together, and they're doing it with a bunch of young men they've never coached. And that's a difficult challenge for any staff, let alone one led by a rookie. And we were out there the other day talking to Michael, and he said he feels like he's a redshirt freshman again back at Virginia Tech getting ready for the James Madison opener. Those are the kind of nerves and butterflies that he's feeling.
David, I like how you say some things like organization, sideline chatter, play calling, as things that people are a little bit more in it, because the regular fan is going to look at the field and say, what's he doing? We just fumbled the ball, fumbled the ball. Or if they lose 3 in a row, oh, he can't coach. We should have never had him. Okay, if this is a year, I don't necessarily think you look at record as success. It's going to be a lot of those other things. I think back on that day when he got announced, his press conference, and he had a little trepidation in his voice. Remember, he said, I was looking forward to getting coaching. I didn't know it would be this soon. And when you watch him, and Michael doesn't really bring out the cameras. He's not that type of guy, and that's okay with that. He just did his business on that field, and he did it well. And I'm wondering sometimes if that kind of, we look at it and say, well, maybe he's being forced to coach because it was an opportunity that people said, you got to take it, because he alluded about that. You came up with the best statement, I think, in the whole interview, and it was in the private interview where you said to Michael, reference to this day and age, it's about the money, NIL deals, and schools paying kids in order to get the right kid. I don't believe that kids are going to strictly go to Norfolk State because of Michael Vick. It's still a situation now where, what am I going to get? Kind of expound on that, because that was a question I said to myself when you asked it. I shook my head and said, well, David addressed the elephant in the room. It ain't about Michael sitting up there. Norfolk State, what you going to do about money?
It's absolutely a fair question, Ed, and one that we won't know the answer to until we see the quality of the roster. And there is no transparency when it comes to what colleges are, how they're compensating these athletes. And you also have to consider the state of the program that Michael inherits. I forget what year Norfolk State elevated from Division II to what we now know as FCS. The Spartans have been to the playoffs one time, guys. Once. And it has been a long, hard slog since they have made that jump. So he takes over a program in dire need of a recharge. He has brought that from a visibility standpoint and a buzz standpoint. And now he has to produce a product. And that's what I think we're all looking forward to watching and observing and watching it evolve. And Michael has used this word, and I would encourage all Norfolk State fans to use it as well, and that's patience. It's not going to happen overnight.
No, it's certainly not. We're talking about the Virginia Sports Hall of Famer, David Teal. Follow him on the X at @David and read his outstanding work in the Virginia Pilot Daily Press. Our guest here on 757 Sports Talk as the college football season gets underway today, and then there's a full slate of action next week. And David, certainly Michael Vick, years to come, will have a better idea of what the Spartans look like. But the word pressure comes to mind, and he might be under some pressure at some point, but for a lot of our schools in the Commonwealth, you have a big matchup this year people are looking forward to. Your alma mater, JMU, taking on Liberty. We talked about that with Phil Steele recently and Paul Stone here on the show. You have Old Dominion under Ricky Ronnie expecting to take another jump here. There's pressure there. UVA and Virginia Tech, two coaches that have not had the success yet that they aspire to get in Tony Elliott and Brent Pry. You have Hampton now with, the old nearby former conference rival trying to, make sure they get the better players in the 757 and beyond. William & Mary, Mike London, he used to coach in the ACC, and now he's trying to get the Tribe to be a playoff team at the FCS level. What's your assessment of pressure? Who's under the most? And what storyline of those kind of fascinates you the most?
I don't think there's any question that the coach under the most pressure in the Commonwealth is Brent Pry, simply because there are higher expectations at Virginia Tech than anywhere else as well there should be. It is first and foremost a football school. It's what the fan base cares about. It's just culturally built in there, part of the fabric. And Brent Pry returned an awful lot of talent last year and did not produce. And now he's flipped the roster. He has two new coordinators. One departure was of his choosing. He dismissed defensive coordinator Chris Marv. The other was a bit of a surprise. Offensive coordinator Tyler Bowen left for the O-line job at Ohio State. And the two new coordinators, Sam Cephas comes from the NFL. He's never coordinated at the FBS level. He was an FCS coordinator at Wofford. And Philip Montgomery comes in. He's been a head coach at Tulsa, was the head coach in Frank Beamer's final game, the Independence Bowl. So it will be a very pressurized season in Blacksburg, and one that starts with two non-conference games against SEC opponents, South Carolina against Shane Beamer, and Atlanta next Sunday, and then the following Saturday in Blacksburg against Vanderbilt and Diego Pavia, a team that beat the Hokies in last season's opener in overtime at Vanderbilt.
Ed?
David, and listen to that, I kind of agree with you too, because of expectations of Virginia Tech. And those are not too easy cupcakes to start off the season with, which a lot of powerhouse football teams usually do for the most part. Of course, you got Ohio State, Texas, one heck of a matchup at the beginning of, I think it's next week. UVA, I look at UVA because when you talk Virginia Tech, you almost have to say UVA somewhere in there. Tony Elliott, not quite, but he's only been there, I think, 3 years. I kind of look at the situation at UVA. I looked at their schedule. I said to myself, just picking off the top of my head, I'm thinking 6-6, little luck, 7 wins, but easily can go to 5 because there's some of those games like a Wake Forest, a Duke. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think they have Vanderbilt on their schedule too.
They do not.
Oh, they do not? Okay. There's a couple other games in there that I said it might be some of their non-con. I think they open up with Coastal Carolina, which I would think would be a win, but Coastal's not that bad at their level and not that bad of a team. I would think Tony, and I don't like about talking coaches on hot seats, being one myself. They should be fired. He's got to win X amount of games, but I'm a talking head right now. 500 at the absolute worst, which 6-6 would get him a chance for a bowl, minor as it may be. Is that kind of pressure on Tony to do that? Because it does seem nowadays the bigger schools used to be like a whole graduating series class go through about 4. We'll give you 4 years, maybe 5. Now it's like year 3 is the big year where we don't see improvement. You're lucky to get 4, and if 4 ain't winning, you'll never see 5. Your assessment on UVA?
If not now, when for Tony Elliott and UVA, Ed? You mentioned the schedule. Virginia is the only Power 5 team in the country that does not face an opponent this season that finished last year in the top 25.
Really?
Virginia is the only team in the ACC that does not play Clemson, Miami, or SMU. The schedule could not be more manageable. Moreover, Virginia invested heavily in the offseason in football, specifically with this roster. You can see it with the haul of transfers that they brought in, headlined by Chandler Morris, the quarterback from North Texas, but a slew of offensive linemen and defensive backs. When people invest, what do they expect? Dividends. And if Tony Elliott doesn't produce dividends this season, guys, I think he's in a world of trouble.
Well, this leads me to my next one, and it's similar to the Michael Vick question, David. There are some better teams on the field, obviously, in the Commonwealth than NSU, with the teams like JMU and Liberty, and we'll see what's in store for UVA and Tech in the ACC and James and Old Dominion here. But in the ACC, Clemson is the prohibited favorite by a wide margin. Made the playoff last year, eked it out against SMU, had a great season, got a nice quarterback back in the championship game of the conference. Georgia Tech's getting a lot of love as a surprise sleeper team, the Buzz team. And then you also have Louisville, who's right there. Can Florida State bounce back? But, David, the big storyline to me in the conference that overrides it all is actually at North Carolina with the guy with more Super Bowl rings than anybody else. I know you were at his press conference as well, Bill Belichick, and I'm sure Ed will love this being the longtime coach too. There's a lot of mystery with them, the whole offseason saga with the young lady that he's now dating. Quarterback is always where things get going. And I was just told recently, I don't know if you've heard this or not, but the young man from the 757 Autori Newkirk, who did not enroll early from Maury High School, was a late signee, is actually expected to be number 2 on the depth chart. So if number 1 goes down, he is thrust into the action potentially right away as a true freshman. What's your overview of the heels in that whole Belichick situation?
Matt, a lot of people have asked me, what do I expect from North Carolina this year? And my stock answer, and I'm sticking with it, I have no earthly idea. Guys, they have 70 new players on the roster. Not 17, 70, 7-0.
Yeah.
How the heck are you supposed to handicap that?
Oh.
It's impossible. Now, much like UVA, Carolina's schedule is manageable. There's a challenging opener Labor Day night at Keenan against Texas Christian. Interesting, Texas Christian just happened to be the first opponent Dion faced at Colorado. But I expect Gio Lopez, the South Alabama transfer, to be QB1. But I really don't know what to, and I don't think anybody does, what to expect from North Carolina. You would think, the transition to college aside, they should be well coached, especially on the defensive side. And that is where the Tar Heels have struggled the most of late. Witness last season when they gave up 70 to James Madison at home, a game that perhaps more than any led to Mac Brown's demise.
No question. And Ed, you're fixated on the schedules here. We'll put up North Carolina's here in a moment on the screen, but their first 4 games, and David can follow up on this with you too. TCU, Charlotte, Richmond, Central Florida. If they happen to go 4-0, Ed, they'd be hosting Clemson off the bye October the 4th. Pretty big spotlight game, huh? What do you think, Coach?
I'm like Dave. Come on. Just because Bill Belichick doesn't mean they're going to win and jump to the NFL and go to the Super Bowl. Come on now. It's college kids. When he took it, I said to Matt on the show, Dave, he could be gone before the year starts. He could jump right back. You don't know. But he did. He stayed. All that stuff with the girlfriend thing, that's personal. Let it go. I just think some old heads out there are mad. They ain't got a 24-year-old chickadee on their arm when they go out. And that's a whole nother story. But I kind of look at you as, okay, let's see. I don't think they're beating TCU in the first game. Could be 1,000% wrong. But let's see. And they're definitely not beating Clemson, no matter if Brady comes back and throws for him. They stick him in and we got a new Brady Gate game or whatever the heck you want to call it. But give him a chance. 70 new players. College game is a little different. Staff and again, and I'll say this, and I got to keep my mouth quiet. Football, maybe than any other sport, you can't just look at just the head coach. You touched on it with what Virginia did. They made some differences in personnel, coaching wise, staff wise. So they put some investment, money wise, whatever. A lot of that has to come through. You can't just blame it strictly on the head coach. Now, once they get going, buck stops with me. I'm the head coach. I get that. I do get that. But so many other things go on game day that head coach has to step back and delegate authority out to the people he trusts and the jobs they do, coordinators, special teams, and such. So this fixation on Belichick, he's won 8 Super Bowls, so he's going to go undefeated in college. Where are you coming from? But it's going to be interesting.
It's going to be fascinating. And that's an interesting, you mentioned staff, Ed. It's a fascinating contrast between Virginia Tech and Virginia. In his tenure at UVA, Tony Elliott has not fired a single staff member. Whereas at Virginia Tech, just this offseason, Brent Pry fired his defensive coordinator, his offensive line coach, and his strength and conditioning coach. Tony Elliott is riding with the guys who have been with him throughout his tenure in Charlottesville. Brent Pry rebooted. And we'll see which path leads to greater success.
Yeah, for sure.
Dave, it's interesting. I just want to piggyback on this because the other question, I want to give you a chance to talk about your alumni place, JMU, because I know you're excited. But you just made a good point in questioning. A lot of times coaches are brought into the room after an unsuccessful season, whether it be a principal, athletic director, president, whatever, and they're going to say, what are you going to do about your staff? Which is a hint. I'm going to have to do something.
Yeah.
Because what they're saying is, if you tell us nothing, then we're going to do something about our head football coach or whatever coach. But it's a lot of times it's like, do something with your staff so we can see that you're trying to find. It's kind of like passing the blame, but you're trying to do something to fix this. Because if you just sit back and say, well, everything is good, and you've got 3 losing seasons in a row, good chance you're gone next. Their next move is they're going to get rid of you because they're giving you an opportunity to almost pass the buck. Now, some coaches would be like, maybe Tony did this. Hey, look, my guys are good, and it's not them. He might just say it's on me, which is giving them more juice to get rid of you. But sometimes you got to look around and say, okay, I've got to change this. I got to change that. I got to move this coach out here. That didn't quite go my way. That shows growth improvement. And, of course, if it don't work the next year, you already know you're gone. So you might as well do it because if it don't work, you're gone. If you don't do it, you're gone.
It's absolutely true. But with James Madison, what is so impressive is that the Duke's success over this extended period has come with multiple head coaching administrations. And Bob Chesney is the most recent, who took over for Kurt Signetti. And the Dukes are rolling. And they are prohibitive favorites to win the Sun Belt East. And schedule has been a theme of our conversation today. And JMU's is thorny indeed. In the non-conference, they have Liberty. They have Washington State. They are at Louisville on a Friday night in week 2. And they open up with a quality FCS in Weber State. And then their crossover games in the Sun Belt out of the West Division are the 2 best teams in that grouping, and that's Louisiana and Arkansas State. So if the Dukes are going to make the Sun Belt championship game and perhaps even contend for the Group of Fives college football playoff bid, they are going to earn it. But wow, they have a lot of returning production, and I think they're going to be really good. Defensively would be my question. Offensively, it would not surprise me if they average 40 points a game. They have dudes everywhere.
Well, they put up like 33 points per game or more, like 6, 7, 8 years in a row, David. So you're spot on with that. And I'll say this too, to follow that up and get you out here on my last question. We thank you so much for spending so much time with us this morning. I'm sure we'll get you back on as we get rolling here throughout the season. But a schedule that has Louisville on it, even as much as people in the state are so fascinated by the Liberty and the ODU games, that game really just jumps out. The thing about JMU that jumps out to me is, and my dad's a 77 alum, is that I did a women's basketball game we had broadcast on a radio on New Year's Eve a few years back, and I couldn't get on the air. We had some technical issues, and the guy who was having to troubleshoot it is not the guy that usually does it, and he went above and beyond to make sure I got on the air before the game started, and we did. And I'm not saying other athletic departments don't and tech people don't at other schools, be it UVA, Tech, ODU, Norfolk State, but they do. I think their athletic administration has to, like you said, get a ton of props. When Jeff Bourne was there, certainly the people behind the scenes, because they've had all this coaching turnover from Mickey Matthews to Mike Houston, Kurt Signetti, and now Bob Chesney. It is mighty impressive. Tell the folks what they'll find in the Virginia Pilot and Daily Press. I know last year we were all, sitting here, oh my gosh, the sports in flux, the SEC and Big Ten are taking over, but it feels like with Belichick now here and Vic now here and the teams and players we got some neat things to follow this year.
We do. I have a big story in tomorrow's paper. It'll be on A1, the front page, and it should post online later today or in the morning on Shane Beamer. Went to Columbia and spent a couple hours with him on a Monday morning, and with the Gamecocks, number 13 in the preseason polls, getting ready to play Shane's alma mater in Atlanta on Labor Day Sunday. Wanted to write about him. And then it's game week, and I'm going to be all over the place. 5 games in 5 days, and people will figure it out where I'm going to be. But really looking forward. It's going to be a couple thousand miles in a rental car. Cannot wait. It's going to be awesome.
He's a traveler, man. Go get yourself a subscription to the Virginia Pilot and Daily Press and read all the great content David and the team do over there, whether you're reading about Ed Young back on the sideline with his new suits, the top 50 football prospects that Mr. Obama's put together, or David's profile on Coach Beamer and other topics and items too. Well, always a pleasure, my friend. College football's back. We're all excited for it. Ed's a downer today with Iowa State, Kansas State, but you and I will watch, I'm sure. And I'm sure we'll be talking down the road.
Absolutely. Half hour till kickoff, guys.
Alrighty, DP.
I'm excited. I'm excited. Was it Nevada versus who is it? That's the game I can't wait. Or it's Sam Houston against Western Kentucky. That's the game I'm excited for.
There you go.
There you go. And then we got Hawaii and Stanford tonight. I'm in.
There you go.
That's my dog excited about.
Yeah, Ed's dog barking. You said Hawaii. He got going. Hey, David, always a pleasure, buddy. Be well.
Thanks, Dave.
Right, see you.
We've got more coming your way. That's the one and only David Teal, Virginia Sports Hall of Famer, with us here from the Virginia Pilot and Daily Press. Who let the dogs out? Woof, woof, woof. Ed's going to let his out, and we'll come back with more, including some high school football sound with you right here on 757 Sports Talk. Bark it up. What's his name? Bear? Bark it up, Bear. Get it going.
For any athlete, making it to the top sometimes comes with a few steps back. That's why parents count on CHKD Sports Medicine, advanced diagnostics, treatment, and rehabilitation for sports injuries, just for young athletes like yours. With convenient locations across Hampton Roads and a whole team of experts here to keep your favorite player at the top of their game. CHKD Sports Medicine. Learn more at chkd.org or call the CHKD Sports Injury Hotline.
Kova Painting. We don't just paint, we transform spaces. Visit kovapainting.com or call 757-550-7357 and mention the Sportsplex for 10% off of projects over $1,000.
What's up at DQ? Oh, just the best deal ever! The $7 Bacon Cheeseburger Meal Deal. Bacon cheeseburger for a limited time, plus fries, drink, and a sundae. Yeah, this is not the time to be modest. It's all full size for just $7. And there's bacon on that burger. The $7 Bacon Cheeseburger Meal Deal. Now, for a limited time on the $7 Meal Deal lineup. Only at DQ. Happy tastes good.
I'm here with a couple of Bethel Bruins. We have on the left wearing number 22, Amari Pryor, the class of 2026 running back committed to Hampton University, and the class of 2027 talent Derek Fisher wearing number 8 as the Bruins just finished up their preseason scrimmage with Deep Creek. Amari, senior year, tell me about what's the excitement like for you guys at Bethel as you guys look to make some noise in the PD and make a run back at the playoffs again this season.
I mean, we put in the work this all season with the schemes and stuff, everything. I feel like I put in a lot of work this all season. The goal for me is 2,000 yards to go for the team, state championship.
And coming off a year where you had 1,580 yards rushing and 24 touchdowns, you recently made your commitment to Hampton University. Tell me what made you decide you want to play your college football by the sea in your hometown at HU.
I mean, they made it seem like they made it feel like I was at home. They reached out, they made it feel like I'm a good fit for their team.
Mm-hmm. And very tough to tackle. So here, Derek, let's turn it over to you. You're getting a lot of recruiting attention now. You're going into your junior year.
Yep.
We've learned you're related to Michael Vick, the new coach at Norfolk State. It's okay, Amari. You play them at some point. But, hey, tell me about what it's like to get all these offers. I know you've got, was it 12, 15 so far? It's got to be pretty cool.
15. It feels good. It just made me work harder, keep my head down working. That's it.
Tell me some of the schools you've grown up and liking and shown some love for. And I guess any visits you'll check out here this year as you move closer and closer to your senior year.
And I like VTech. I visit them a lot.
Okay.
UVA, I visit Duke too. And I'm going to visit a lot more schools this season for some games.
Sure.
Yeah.
Michael, one of your favorite players growing up, I imagine?
Yeah.
Michael
probably Norfolk State, yeah.
Okay, and let's chat about each other's games. I usually ask players to break down their own abilities, but I'm going to get you to talk about Ferrari Amari, and he's going to talk about D. Fish. So tell me about what makes Amari one of the best backs in the 7x7 in all of VA.
Dog. Straight dog.
Okay.
You can't tackle him, bro.
Okay.
He's going to do what he do. We know Amari going to work, do what he do in the game, score touchdowns for us.
All right. And you got one out here today. Amari, tell us about what makes D. Fish such a unique talent for you guys, both sides of the ball, right?
Yeah, Derek a hard worker. He can win deep balls one-on-one, go over the top, catch picks. I feel like he can help us a lot as a program, as a team, and he changed the program around a lot. Me and him.
Sure. Come on, let you guys run here. Speak on the goals. You talked about it a little bit individually for you, but for this group at Bethel, we hear a lot about Phoebus and Warwick in the PD, and rightfully so. I feel like Bethel can make some noise. What are the things you're trying to do in your own game to help your team collectively be even better this year?
My own game, I'll continue to work on the stuff that I need to work on while watching film and stuff.
And Derek, for you, I know a different role this year. Last year you played quarterback, but you're still playing defensive back, getting moved around different ways offensively. What are you working on improving in your skill set to help Bethel be even better and you even better?
Trying to get open for the quarterback, create turnovers for the defense, and score.
All right. Lastly, this is a fun one for each of you guys. Give me the fastest guy on the team that you can't pick yourself, and then tell me who does the best impersonation of Coach Porter on the team. Go ahead. Yeah. Give it to me.
Go fast first. Lewis Parker. Yeah,
Lewis Parker. Okay.
You go first.
And then who does the best impersonation of Coach Porter? Do you do one? Are you going to give it to us? If you do, this will be funny. You can. It's all right. He won't make you run laps.
Wait, I got to think.
Hold up. Let me see.
It's hard. It is.
Okay. On the spot. Okay.
Hold on. I think
you got to think. It's got to be one of the linemen or somebody, right? Probably.
You can't do it? I can't.
Nah, I can't name one.
Okay. You can't name her? Oh, okay. Well, there you go. He just gave it to you. Watch out for these guys, the tandem for the Bethel Bruins, Amari Pryor and Derek Fisher. Thanks so much. All the best this year, guys.
Hampton Roads has a long-running high school and college sports tradition. It's time to give them the spotlight they deserve. This is 757 Sports Talk. Here are Matt Hatfield and Coach Ed Young.
They were fun to talk to. Amari Pryor, who's going to Hampton University, and Derek Fisher, who's got his pick of the litter just about. He's got about a dozen or so schools. He mentioned Duke, UVA, Virginia Tech, where his cousin Michael went. Oh, by the way, Dwight Vick, who's a friend of the show, shout out to him. He watches. I know he's proud of his family member there. And so there you have it. You heard from Coach David Porter. We still got more sound coming your way. Lake Tedder's Hank Sawyer, Louisa's Dajier Carter, Ed, and Coach Will Patrick. Carter's going to Rutgers, who you bashed a few weeks ago. You said they're going to have a bad year. Nonetheless, we'll hear from Carter. And we told you Hank Sawyer, Giovanni Simmons, who played at Ocean Lakes, Oscar Smith, assistant coaches. They got a big game coming up against Gonzaga. Yeah, next Friday. So we're going to get into some games. It won't be on our previous show. Before we sign off, we'll do our NFL over-unders to the AFC. And we will go through some of the games for next week. So it's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Oh, David, I tell you what, he was great to talk to, wasn't he? David had all the insight, and you just feel like there's so many things this year. Every week there's going to be something new, and it's not going to be the same school. 1 week it might be Michael Vick. 1 week it might be Ricky Ronnie and Old Dominion with that linebacker Jason Henderson. You see it on the ticker there. You know, the JMU Liberty matchups, the UVA Tech matchups. You know, you got Clemson. I think there's going to be so many different compelling storylines. It's not just all SEC, Big Ten all the time. And granted, there are those behemoths that people will be talking about on a national scale. And we do have some players from around the Commonwealth on some of those rosters in the SEC and Big Ten. But it felt like the last 2 years, the sport was in more flux. But now they're getting things ironed out with this playoff. And I think it's going to be week to week, so many different compelling items to really keep an eye on.
Yeah, I think so. Getting back to David, can you imagine being in that car with him in terms of all that mileage he's putting on, but with the stories he would have? All you'd have to do is bring up one quick subject and give me a story, and there's about 50 miles, 60, 100 miles right there. He's done it so well, so long. Yeah. He's well respected by so many people in the business of athletic and the coaching side, let alone the print media and that. He's just done a tremendous job with, very level-headed too with his thing. There's not a lot of fanfare with him, not a lot of shouts and whatever. He's just observant, and he gives his opinion, which usually is right on. And that's why so many people want him to talk to him, because he really, analytically, he really looks at situations without much bias. So
you just gave me a great book idea. If he's still watching out there, the one and only Lynn Burke could be the guy that puts this together. He's working on that book of the history of high school football in Hampton Roads. Lynn should do a book called The History of the Travels of the Sports Writers at the Daily Press and the Pilot, from, Teal to Dave Fairbank, who worked for them, to Dave Johnson, we love now working at William & Mary, to Marty O'Brien, throw in Harry Minium, who went to the Virginia Sports Hall of Fame this past year, Ed Miller, a good friend of ours who's been on. He could do a chapter on each guy's travels, and that'd be a great book.
But what we need to do is get a Lynn, get David, get Marty, get these guys
in a room,
in a nice little
book. There you go. Yeah.
Let's get them in a room. You moderate it, because you can do that well. And let's throw stories at these guys, put it on the podcast.
I'll be glad to moderate it. You have to do one thing, though. You have to do one thing, though. If I moderate, you have to do one thing.
I'm good.
No. You have to do one thing. You have to, with that big paycheck you're going to be getting in every week from Smithfield, because people have asked me, how much are you getting paid? I said, listen, Ed's financial. No, I'm serious. People asked me this other day, so how much is he getting paid? I said, no. I don't get into that, and that's his business. It's not right. I said, but all I will say is, with how much he's getting paid now at Smithfield, I mean, handsomely. I said, you have to supply all the food for us if we do this little moderate thing. So you do that. You get us. I don't care. We're not that picky. We'll take steak. We'll take pizza. We'll take burgers. Hot dog. We're sports writers and reporters. That's all. We're not picky. We eat concession stand food. But you supply the food, and I'll moderate it and make it happen. But you got to supply the food. That's the only thing you have to do.
I could do that. It's going to wipe out my paycheck. My paycheck is public record for anybody who wants to know.
Okay.
I don't have a copy of it. I would hold it up. It's before taxes, because that's what 24% taken out is 4,000.
Look, Marty's watching. Look at that. Marty's watching.
Hey, there's the package back. That's right. And we ain't talking Green Bay, people. We're not talking Green Bay.
Well, next week, though, we will do NFC over-unders next week. It's the AFC to end today's show. But, yeah, that's right. The package back.
Yeah, I would got to have Marty, Lynn, David. Let's get a few more sports writers. Put them right there. Give them a right there in your palatial estate, right there with the table. Look at the couch behind you, the piano. We get somebody play the piano down low as these guys are talking. I would do it. Remember, I make $4,000 a year, not a week, not a month.
I'm not buying that.
Tolerate Smithfield.
Way more than that. I'm not buying that. No. Next Saturday is Keith's birthday, so we have to have you sing him happy birthday and buy him some cake. And by the way, you got to help Tracy Parker root him on and give him a pep talk. They got Lafayette next Friday. That's a big matchup. Big matchup.
Lafayette's going to be picked by many to be the power in the
Lafayette's really good. And they're coming up in our Virginia Preps top 10 countdown that we're doing daily with all the teams from Class 6 down to Class 1. They'll be high up there in Class 4 as they move up this year from Class 3 to Class 4. And speaking of that, it's a great segue for our next interview guest, Ed, because with Lafayette moving up from Region 3A to Region 4A, where Phoebus is in the way. My gosh, how great a game that could be. Lafayette, Phoebus come Thanksgiving weekend. Are you kidding me? That could be theater. But that opens the door in Region 3A for a Hopewell to maybe make a state playoff run, or possibly even a Lake Taylor. And they're coached by one of the best around.
Yeah, Hank Sawyer's been a great one for us. You had an opportunity recently to speak to Hank. Down season last year. Down season, played a lot of young guys, took some hits. And I'm going to tell you some people out there that you beat him last year. Get ready. He's got a list on the board. He knows who he's going after. Let's see what he had to say with Matt here recently right here on Cova Sports TV.
All right, I'm here with Lake Taylor head football coach Hank Sawyer after his team's preseason scrimmage with the Nansman Warriors at Powhatan Field in Norfolk as they're able to get a scrimmage in. Coach, Mother Nature's always come with the rain, the lightning, the humidity, but you're able to get the scrimmage in after you were supposed to have Tallwood. You're able to get up with Nansman. This is always good to have the film and get ready for game one. What did you see from your group tonight?
Well, we had five fumbles and 3 interceptions, and we got to work on that. But we saw a lot of encouraging things. The problem was when we had turnovers, we had just had success, first down or whatever. So that's hard to swallow. So we got to get on the same page.
Sure.
I think Nansman really is a good football team. We had some stipulations, things we like to do. We weren't able to do it because they didn't want us to – their quarterback wasn't live. But, that was sprung on us. But that's fine. I think that we just have to – we got 1 week to get ready for our season opener against Heritage. And we got some film against a quality team, a big team with some good skilled people and some big linemen. So we have something to work on that's going to really help us.
Yeah, getting some outside the Eastern District, which we'll get to, but you see certainly from the beach and Bayside last week of scrimmage, Nansman from the Southeastern, you'll see a couple Peninsula teams early on with Heritage and with Hampton. I want to talk about your team a little bit more in a moment, but I know this was an emotional day for you with the passing of the former Titans coach, Billy Morrow, who was part of just your building of tradition in 3 state championships at Lake Taylor. Tell us what he meant to you and just the entire community.
From the time I got to Lake Taylor in 98, he embraced me, and he taught me even more football, and he just was a really close guy. He wasn't just talking to me. He was at practice and helping me and showing me different things about what he has experienced as a head football coach at Lake Taylor. And it's hard to say goodbye, and it's been really rough. And my heart goes out to his wife Jan, and it's just tough. In the last few years, 2 years, I've lost 2 coaches. So.
Other one being Coach Ford, which you have the Coach Ford patch on the shirts and jerseys, I've noticed, and you guys did a great thing at Lake Taylor, and it was neat that they had the press box dedicated to you, as well as Bert Harrell, who had passed away, and Billy Morrow. Speak on just what this game of football teaches in life, because you're someone that really does a lot with the kids beyond the game. We see your wife, who's won championships, girls basketball at Lake Taylor, and former players here like Daz Palmer, Mike James, they come back, and this goes beyond the wins and losses, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, yes, it does, and the pandemic set us back a little bit, and then right at the pandemic, after the first year, we found out that we lose the neighborhood of Berkeley for whatever reason, and they took that neighborhood from us, and they really didn't replace us with anybody. So we're still building up numbers and trying to get things back. But more importantly, we're teaching young men how to be men, how to be responsive fathers, how to be great citizens. Football is great, but one day it's going to end for all of them, like it did for me. And you got to be a man, and you got to understand you got to attack life, and you can't complain. And so we're teaching them what you do when no one's looking. And so.
Yeah, lastly, I know you won't say it, but I will. You've put together a Hall of Fame resume at Lake Taylor. A lot of guys could have said, I'm done with this coaching thing, but you still have a love and passion for it, and you've got about, I think you told me, 18 starters back from last year's team, which was not a typical record for you, but certainly this group is going to get better as the year goes along, and in Class 3, it feels like there's some room for growth for this team to do some surprising things, if you will. What do you like about this team, and why are you still doing this and still getting a joy out of it?
I still do it because as long as I can make a difference. A lot of guys, even some of them that I coach, think I've kind of lost it mentally or whatever, and I haven't. I'm doing the same things that I did with them. A lot of them, when I watch their film, when they're coaching, believe it or not, they're doing my stuff. They're just calling it something different. So that validates me to know that I haven't lost it. And anybody can walk away when you've had the success I've had. We've been to 6 state championships, won 3. We won 6 regional championships and 19 district championships. But I want to shake your hand the same way when I shook your hand when I had success against you. I'm going to shake your hand when you have success against me. If I feel like if I didn't do anything else, or if our coaching staff didn't do anything else, we taught a lot of teams how to win. One time, Peninsula was handling us, and we're not scared of the Peninsula anymore. And as an Eastern District, we wasn't having a lot of success in the playoffs. now what Moore has 3 state championships, Lake Taylor has 3. So, Norfolk football has really come along a mighty long way.
And you were the one that put it on the map. Thank you so much. All the best to you and the Titans this year.
Well, thank you, Matt.
So that was Hank Sawyer, the head football coach of the Lake Taylor Titans, 6 times in the state championship, 3 times a title winner. His wife's got a few championships in girls basketball as well. Sandra Sawyer, it is Cova Sports TV. Like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We didn't really hit on any of the key players, but we'll do so on our Sunday night preview show where Kassan Heston and Madgerald Clark will be names we chat about, 2 of the defensive standouts that Ed has already pegged Lake Taylor to be a surprise team. They had a rough time in the scrimmage with Nansemond River, who's got a really prolific attack, but I think Hank will get things ironed out. And it was, I know, a tough day for him and the whole community as they mourned the passing of Billy Morrow, longtime coach over there, Ed.
Yeah, I didn't know Billy personally. I met him a few times in my early years when I was at Norview. And hey, shout out to Diane.
Yeah.
Classmate from way back in high school. Appreciate you watching us from a long way away up there in Pennsylvania. I think Madera, PA, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh,
Thanks
yeah?
for joining. It was great seeing her and the rest of the crew at our reunion a couple weekends ago. Absolutely could be a highlight of my summer, getting to see a lot of people in there. And Diane used to drive me crazy in the classroom, but that's a whole nother story.
JH also saying, before you finish up with your thought on Hank and Billy Morrow's passing here, Hank talking about that, we did put up some games of the Virginia Preps Classic. A lot of them are going to be coming up in the days to come from our man Dan Trevino. We've made them subscriber items in the past, but here in the coming days and weeks, JH and you and some other fans will love this as we get closer to basketball season. It's my gift to all of you out there. Dan, the man, along with his son Tyler, they've been filming our games for years and years, but since our merger with On3 with Rivals and Virginia Preps, a lot of those old archived articles and content items are unavailable. So we're going to make them free for you to see on YouTube. And then that'll be that for you to watch. So I know people have paid from the past, but now they're just going to be for you. And it'll be great. Sort of like we talked about with David with the ability to go back and watch those old Hampton Media Network games. And speaking of which, Marty O'Brien also chimed in. He just tuned in. Wish he'd seen all of Teal. How can you do so? Great question, Marty. If you go on Cova Sports TV on the YouTube page, which again, like, share, and subscribe, hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you a dime, Marty. You can go back and scan the interview and see it in its entirety. So you can go back and if you get tired of Ed babbling, which he does a lot, you can just hit the mute button or go back and rewind and watch David. Hear more of him and less of Ed. Go ahead. Continue on with your thoughts now.
Marty, first of all, why are you tuning in late? I know you're a busy, man. You got a lot of things, but put us on while you're doing all your typing and your writing and whatever else you're doing, but put us on.
I don't know if you're as therapeutic as the music of like the waterfall or whatever he might be tuning into. You might, give him a headache. So I don't know.
We Marty's a good one, man. Marty's good.
We love Marty.
Another guy with a ton of stories who would be, you just like the radio, turn them on and just listen.
Yeah.
That's all you need to do because he'll take care of the rest. But Marty, you got to start tuning in. I need help keeping this joker straight.
He wants to beat me in the picks now. Yeah, that's his, yeah.
Yeah, and try to get him straight.
Well, look, Marty, it's my mission, just like Marty's, for me to beat you. His mission is to beat Rabama in their picks. So that's our mission, is to beat. So, maybe you and Larry can team up. We'll do a tag team match. You tag Larry and see if you guys can beat us. How about that?
Yeah, just give me 30 seconds in the ring with this joker, and I'd be the happiest in the world. Marty's another one.
I outrun you. I'm slippery. I got like.
Marty's another one who told me on the side. He said, "Hey, exactly how he said it. Young, what's up with this fool in the pool segment? Who allowed that, Marty?" I'm trying not to. There's other people encouraging this guy, so he thinks it's cool, and he does more of them. And it's the downer on our show. It's when we lose our thousands.
We got sidetracked though. Talk about Billy Morrow though.
Billy Morrow passing away up there, like Taylor. One of the good ones when I got at Norview. When I left Old Suffolk, I went to Norview High School. I had to learn a lot about Norfolk situation. One of the names I heard was Billy Morrow on the football side of things. And he laid groundwork for a lot of those successful coaches after him. He touched a lot of lives up there. And, I didn't know him personally, can't speak from a personal standpoint, but that is a tough loss in that community because of some good things that he really did with the kids out there. And, Hank has not, I think he's superseded all expectations in terms of when they handed him the head coaching keys and what he's done in the lives of so many youngsters that he has touched. And he ain't done by a long shot. And, his wife, Sandra, has also won championships and done well with the young ladies that have come under her direction. when you come by that house, I don't know I haven't gone in there, but they should have Championship Lane as the street name for the Sawyers, because in that house alone, there's two great winning people, not just coaches.
Correct.
Knowing, but in terms of the lives they have affected and the coaches. Something else, I want to throw out there, the coaches they affect. I look at Hank and Sandra from afar, and I've been to their games. I've seen some things they do, and I say, I like that. I'm going to try to use that. I can listen to Hank talk all day long.
Yeah, no, it's a good point, and I'm with you 1,000% on that deal, no doubt. Oh, Marty does chime in and says, never tired of you battling. He'll be on time next week. Good luck in the BRD. So there you go. Good
See,
stuff.
Marty's the one I got to talk to. Marty knows a lot about Bay Rivers. I hardly know anything. I'm going to get probably pummeled by a lot of people in this first year, and I don't know anything.
Are you talking about your team, or are they going to physically pummel you? Because there are some people
that could be both. I'm going into uncharted
They do
water.
want to pummel you. I mean, listen, you're an easy target to want to pummel. So
see, I don't deal in violence like you. See, you want to cast aspersions on everybody by
when did I deal in violence?
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of dogs, by the way, you got Bear over there barking his head off. I hope you took him out during a commercial break. And then also, speaking of dogs, Sandra and Hank had a great dog. I don't know if he's with us anymore. Bam Bam, and I think their dog now is Champ. So if you come in the house, Champ, they're going to sick Champ on you. That's what they're going to do.
That's the same thing with me. Somebody rang the doorbell and he went nuts because that's his job. Protect the feeder, protect the one that buys you the treats. He knows that too. So that's another one that just bit the dust, because I tell people, don't come soliciting my house. I'm going to sick the dog on you. The sign on the door says, beware of dog. I would warn them. So,
well, they beware of dog and they beware of Ed Young. So we have a question up there on the Twitter X on the comment wanting to know about the new Hatfield football coach. They do have a new football coach. He was hired back in early August, Kenneth Lucas Jr., and he's coached previously with the Pittsburgh Steelers as a defensive backs and special teams coach, and at Morgan State. He's also had some high school coaching background. Go to our VIP board on virginiapreps.com. Yeah, it's a shameless plug for me here, but we have a full extensive bio about him, Dave, if you want to go check it out. And if you do sign up, there's a deal that people can check out involving the Athletic. People can go check out that when they sign up. But also, you can read all the great high school football content that my entire team of people like Will Garlick and Danny Lewis and Jim McGrath and others have been filing all offseason long. Robert Anderson.
Hey,
there you go. And you're welcome, David.
Hey, David, first of all, I'll leave that up there. David, I see that you watch Fool in the Pool, and I feel the same way you do. Put that picture back up there.
What?
Okay.
What?
David, I'm got public service announcement, David, because this is our job. I'm a health educator. I got to say this. Get rid of the cigarettes. They will shorten your life.
Oh, man, come on. How you know it's him? It could be someone else. What are you doing here?
Right. Maybe I'm wrong. It's not David, but if
wrong,
it is
probably.
you, David, if it is. David, if it's not you, I apologize. Shut my mouth. But
Look
that
at you.
picture speaks volume of what people think when they see Fool in the Pool. It would probably drive me to smoke too, but I got to stay away from anything that's really not so good for my health, so I wouldn't do that. But anybody I'll say anybody. David, I'm not going to put it on you.
See, it's not him. Don't you feel like a fool now?
David, thank you, David. David, thank you. I'm glad it's not you.
Look
with
at
the
that.
6
You know what you were doing? That was stereotype. Shame on you. You should know what you have to do. You'd have to run two laps around the house. Two laps around the house and your skivvies.
The picture speaks volumes of everybody's feeling except Woody when Fool in the Pool comes on.
Woody, listen, all the people Woody hangs out with, and there are thousands of Woody fans and friends of his. They love the pool. In fact, they asked, can I give them at least 2 more? So, Woody, I'm gonna get you at least 1 more. I'm going to try to squeeze in a second. But we have to take a time out because we still have to get to Will Patrick, Dazier Carter, Giovanni Simmons, look at next week's games, and do our AFC over-unders for the National Football League. We might go to about 12:30 today if Ed allows me. I do have to be gone by 12:45, though. I have a special friend to see. But we have more coming your way on 757 Sports Talk. You're watching on Cova Sports TV. Back in a moment.
James Catato tells us tonight there's a new team making new noise in the USL2 scene on the other side of the water.
Something special is brewing inside the walls of the Virginia Beach Sportsplex.
We're not here for moral victories. When we're on our day, we're a legit team.
See the stars of the future in pre-professional action at the Virginia Beach Sportsplex. This combined season ticket special is for men's and women's. That's 15 games for just $100 for adults and $80 for youth. VBU has a brand new women's team that competes in the W League. Soccer fans, it's time to rally behind Virginia Beach United. Tickets are on sale now. Visit vbunited.com. Don't miss out on Virginia Beach United.
As a banker at Town Bank, we believe that people bank with people, not with banks. You're looking for an actual personal relationship, and that's what you get at our bank. You get that person that gets to know you, gets to know your business, is there for you. I think that is what motivates us, what drives us, and the idea that we are trying to serve others and enrich lives, I think is very true.
I'm here with Louisa, class of 2026 wide receiver Dajier Carter, the Rutgers commit as he's gearing up for his senior campaign. The Lions getting ready for this season. Dajier, we've been watching you and Savion, two of the nation's most sought-after recruits since your freshman year. Hard to believe that time has gone by. You're almost ready to finish things up?
I am. Starting as a freshman, coming here, playing with all the big guys. Everybody's just seeing, being 14 years old, both of us going against 18, and now the roles have turned, and we're the 18-year-olds going against the younger people. I mean, it's a big difference from just being a snotty-nosed freshman to being the leader of the team.
You probably watched Louisa football growing up. You saw Brandon Smith, who's been to the NFL, the jungle, the whole atmosphere, environment. What makes it such a special place to be a part of? Because you did depart, went to Woodbury Forest, and both of you guys came back for junior year and now to finish up as seniors.
It's nothing like Louisa football. The community comes out every Friday night, and they love football, and I love the community. So we give it to them, and they give it to us. So it's a win-win.
Before we talk about your recruitment and the commitment to Rutgers and what's ahead for you guys this season at Louisa, your nickname is Fats. Yeah. And also, you have Hollywood on your tat as well. Tell us how you got the nickname Fats, if you will, and also about the Hollywood, if you can.
When I was a little baby, I was always really fat. So, okay. My family always called me Fat. So, in Little League football, my team always called me Hollywood. So, I just put them both together, and it stuck with me.
And you got some style with you, some bling, a little pizzazz. Speak on just as a football player, what you think you do best on the field, what coaches conveyed to you as far as when you went through this whole process, because you got a bunch of offers and on the field here for Coach Patrick and the Lions, they use it in a bunch of different ways. You catch the lobs, you catch the bubbles, the screens, you use sweeps. It feels like you can do a lot of different things on the field.
Just being younger, just always playing different positions, not knowing really my main position, and just coming here and just doing whatever the coaches ask me to do to my best ability, and that's all I can do.
So do you hear any comps from, be it college coaches, other people, when they say, hey, put on the tape, and they say you remind them of so-and-so, be it a pro receiver, a college receiver? Do you hear some of those? Or
mainly Calvin Ridley.
Really? Okay. What do you like about Calvin Ridley? What do you hear what's similar in your games, I guess?
Just his route running and the way his speed changes. He doesn't run 100% every time, but it looks like he runs 100%. And the way he gets in and out of his breaks is just something that I always want to do.
Sure. Now, you committed pretty early to Rutgers. Tell me about just the relationship, the vibe, connection there with the Scarlet Knights and Coach Schiano and that group there. And are you still solid with them? Because I know those schools are still talking to you in this process.
I'm very solid to them. 100% committed there. The coaches, the facilities, the players, everything there, just nothing changed. The love they gave me and everything that every time I win, it's just always the same.
Sure. What do you think you can bring to their program?
They're going to go to playmaker.
Plain and simple.
Yeah.
For you and your craft, what have you been sharpening up on and improving in your game? What have you been working on the most?
My route running and my releases off the line, knowing that I don't really get pressed. So having to just have bail and work on that. So I'm starting to work on that now. So when I get to college, it'll already be there.
You got a bar set for this year as far as catches, yards, anything? And I know you and Savion are pretty competitive. You guys have a little competition about see who can have the longest gainer or things like that. What do you guys talk about, if you will?
We both just come out here and try to win, do what's best for the team. We don't really we compete, but we don't really do any competing too much. We just do what's best for the team. But for our personal goal, we probably want to break a few records in the school.
Okay. And what are those records be in terms of yardage or receiving or?
All the receiving yards.
Okay. You know what they are off the top of your head, or you go back and look them up? Okay. Last two for you. Dajier, for you to finish up this coming season, Louisa's got a tough region now. You guys moved from Class 5. It was a heartbreaking finish last year. You got Verona, Dinwiddie, Huguenot. What's it going to take for this group to achieve some of the goals it has collectively as a unit?
Just coming every day to practice, working as a team, and Friday nights just got to come out there and play as a team.
Okay. And lastly, who does the best impersonation of Coach Patrick on the team?
I would have to give Aiden Shaw that.
Aiden Shaw's the guy that does it. He's going to be wearing the jerseys of the Rutgers Scarlet Knights next season, but he's playing on Friday nights this year for the Louisa Lions. Dajir Carter, thank you so much. All the best.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, man.
This is 757 Saturday Sports Talk. Here are Matt Hatfield and Coach Ed Young.
So there you had it, Ed. You heard from Dajir Carter of Louisa. He's going to Rutgers. His teammate Savion Hyder made his choice with Michigan, so they're going to be Big Ten rivals in the future. But Greg Schiano is going to have them chopping wood there at Rutgers. As Louisa could be a team we're talking about come November, late in the year, possibly playing a Huguenot, a Dinwiddie, a Varina in the playoffs. And if they happen to win, a semifinal and a final, boom. Might be looking at them in Phoebus or a Lafayette in the state playoffs. So it's a team people around the 757 and beyond have to keep their eyes on. And certainly people are going to be watching Carter and Hyder because it's as good a twosome as there is in Virginia in terms of playmakers on a single team.
Carter handled the interview well with you. He seemed very poised, very direct as to what he wants to do. He wants to grab some records. He wants his team to be the best and win that championship. Nothing wrong with that. Sometimes when people talk about kids going after individual records, all they care about is themselves. But there's nothing wrong with being the best at what you do. And a lot of times being the best is you hold the records because people will go and look at records and say, well, who has the most catches as a receiver, who has the most yardage or most touchdowns? So nothing wrong with that. I like the way that kid's poise is. It looks like no wonder this kid is good. Rutgers is an interesting choice. No, I don't think you see a lot of Virginia kids picking Rutgers. And my only knock on Rutgers was a week or so ago, they don't belong in the Big Ten. That's my opinion. Okay, that's East Coast as East Coast can get. I'd rather see them in the ACC than I would in the Big Ten. But it's all about money, so I understand how that goes.
David did say he sees some things on X that makes him feel like that. Probably pictures of Ed Young.
Well, David, if you watch this long enough and see Fool in the Pool, I'm telling you, it'll make you think about grabbing some cigs, but don't do that. Don't do that. People
love the fool in the pool. I got to tell you who's not a fool. That's the guy that's coaching the Louisa Lions. He's got a really good team.
Yeah. I'm interested to see what Will Patrick has to say. We heard from the kid. We heard from one of the players. And, of course, I like that. You kind of pulled an Ed Young. Who does the best impersonation of coaches? Because all teams do it, whether coaches want to hear it or not. There's a kid on every team in every sport in high school that mimics the head coach because most of us are easy to mimic, especially when we get upset. So they do it. I even asked my own team who does my best, and I don't want to say it, but, I told them, look, I'll give points to everybody, extra sprints off, whatever, and they still won't do it because they're afraid that they're going to get in trouble. But it's some locker room shenanigans. But you ask who does the best impersonation of Coach Will Patrick. We're going to watch the Will Patrick right now and what he has to say, and the head coach of Louisiana County talk with Matt Hatfield right here on Cova Sports TV.
All right, I'm here with Louisa head football coach Will Patrick as his Lions have just concluded a preseason scrimmage at Prince George. Coach, you and Tom Hall go a long ways back, and I know this is always a good, friendly scrimmage, but also one that allows your team to get better as well as his.
Oh, no doubt. Coach Hall, man, in my mind, he's a legend, and especially in Central Virginia, Richmond area, and I think what he's doing down here is amazing. Great, beautiful day for a football scrimmage. We came down here and we made some plays. We made a lot of mistakes, like I thought we would, but I was very pleased with the effort of my team. We flew around. Biggest thing we would take away from this is get on the film, make corrections, and then keep making our standard. Every day our goal is to raise the standard every single day.
Yeah, you have big playability, obviously, with two of the nation's most sought-after recruits and 5-star Savion Hyder, 4-star Dajir Carter, who's committed to Rutgers. Those two guys are electric. I know Hyder didn't suit up today, but Carter can do a lot of different things in space. But you also showed some other guys besides them that teams can't just focus on them entirely, right?
Oh, that's right, man. We got LaVartrell Creasy, another running back we have. Got a good quarterback battle going on with Levi Wilson and Jaheim Jackson. I thought our O-line played pretty well today, communicated well. I was really proud of the defense today for communicating and just the effort and the flying around. That's one thing. This time of year, defenses are usually ahead of the offenses, but I really thought on defense we did a good job communicating.
Number 2, I think it was for you here, Aiden Shaw made some plays both sides of the ball. You got a lot of youngsters, too. Your underclassmen are starting to they're no longer the babies, if you will, right?
That's right. We got about 15 seniors on this team, a lot of juniors, a few sophomores, and we only have one freshman currently. But Aiden Shaw is a player, man. I mean, all 5'9", 165 of them, and he's super fast. He's aggressive, and to see his growth over the past 2 years has been amazing.
You've got a diehard fan base that comes to these scrimmages. We've been to the jungle where you guys have the line and the whole big extravaganza there, and you see that brotherhood from your team. One of your guys went down. I think it was Julian Freya. You can give me an update on his status. But one of your linemen, I think, was Jameer Radlin, brought the whole group together, prayed with your guys, and he showed a lot of leadership in that moment that could have been very difficult for your group.
Yeah, Jameer Radlin is one of our spiritual leaders. He's our center, our nose tackle, senior, just a wonderful young man on and off the field.
Mm-hmm. Any update, Julian? Just going to find out more.
Just a right knee injury. Hopefully he'll be suited back up. Not too long from now.
Sure. 2 more let you run here. Speak on what Dajir and Savion have meant to you in your program. They obviously departed to go to Woodbury Forest. They come back to Louisa. I know you're proud of them both as young men on and off the field as far as what they do. I take them individually. I know Savion's got a decision coming up here soon in about 10 days.
Yeah. Savion Hyder is the total package when it comes to not only a football player, but he's just a great young man. Mm-hmm. So proud to know him, be around him, watch him grow up. Dajir Carter, he's our energy. He brings so much leadership to our team. To see his growth, I mean, I've known these kids since they were in 7th grade, and to see them now as seniors, the sky's the limit for both of them. I'm so excited we got them for one more season.
Yeah. And lastly, you guys make the move again, classification-wise, going from Class 5 to Region 4B. A gauntlet it is, maybe the toughest region in the state when the likes of Verina and Dinwiddie, Huguenot, you guys join it. I know there's a little bit of a bad taste in the mouth from how last season ended. Give me kind of a thought on what it will take for your group to be in the mix come November and have a special year.
It's going to take tons of discipline. It's going to take effort. It's going to take the correct attitude. Got to stay healthy, obviously. Biggest thing, when you're playing in mid-November and late November and early December, everyone is good. And we're going into a gauntlet region, and we're ready for the challenge. All we can control is ourselves and how we operate on a day-to-day.
They've got Believe across the chest, and they do Pride push-ups too. Will Patrick, thank you so much. All the best to you in the lines.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
So Louisa recently came on the VirginiaPreps.com top 10 countdown at number 8. 10 was Loudoun County, 9 GW Danville. Salem of Salem, Virginia is number 7. You can imagine who might be in the top 6 in terms of order. Well, I won't tell you what order they're in, but alphabetically, those schools are the likes of Dinwiddie, Huguenot, Jefferson Forest, Lafayette, Phoebus, and Verina. But do you have a problem with their placement? I'm sure you love to pick apart their rankings and tell me where I'm right, where I'm wrong, more where I'm wrong than where I'm right.
I have been watching from afar your countdown because you're always one that likes to savor the moment and make people keep coming back. You tantalize it.
You've got a tease. It's called a tease. A tease.
Right. And not showing the whole 10. You're going to bring it back down. So I'll look at them. It helps me learn about some of the team. But when I look at all 10, then I can say where it goes. I'm okay. Based on the ones you haven't ranked yet, I have a feeling where you're going to rank them. I know where I would put them. I think you got Louisa there. Listen to Coach Packer. I don't know him that well. I don't know him at all. But, it seems like a guy that, no nonsense. This is how we're going to get some things done. He's got some really key players. It seems like kids really go hard for him, that he's going to be a factor in the race. And like you said, don't be real surprised, as one coach locally used to tell us, if we see them fighting for a championship at the end of the year and saying, who are they? Where they come from? Where you been? This is a team that is going to have to, it's probably going to do from the start. I think getting out of the gate's important for them. And I'll say that probably about a lot of high schools because it's high school kids. If you get wins early, it builds that momentum. It builds some self-esteem. The kids feel good about themselves. They like coming to practice. Then when you play somebody who's really, really tough and maybe you're not supposed to beat them, all of a sudden the kids can deliver.
Well, there are some great matchups on deck for this coming week. You see them across the ticker right now in the Hampton Roads. The Beach District in play on Thursday. Some out-of-district games involving the Eastern, Southeastern, Peninsula, and Bay Rivers. And then 2 out-of-state colossal showdowns for defending state champs. Maury in Class 5 is going to North Carolina to take on Cardinal Gibbons with a quarterback who's going to Wake Forest. Oscar Smith going to take on Gonzaga. No, not Mark Few's Bulldogs, but Gonzaga High School out of Washington, D.C. And one of the guys that used to play Oscar Smith linebacker, went to UVA, Giovanni Simmons. You remember him, Ed, right? He's now an assistant.
He's pretty doggone good.
Yeah, he's now coaching with Chris Scott and the Tigers. Coach Scott allowed us to catch up with his assistant to get his perspective on what the Tigers have cooking, trying to make it back-to-back in Class 6. We know about Travis Johnson, Lonnie Andrews, but here's some more guys he talks about with us. Giovanni Simmons on Cova Sports TV right before the big showdown with Gonzaga. Let's check it out.
All right, I'm here with Oscar Smith assistant coach Giovanni Simmons, former all-Tidewater linebacker from his days at Ocean Lakes, and the Tigers defending Class 6 state champs just concluded their scrimmage with Green Run here. Coach, different day. I know you were planning to get up with Dinwiddie and Green Run on the road in Richmond, but Mother Nature you have no control of, but you had to be pleased with the effort and enthusiasm your group played with, the starters and the subs.
Oh, man, our guys came to play, man. Like you said, sudden change situation. We were supposed to get this thing going on Thursday. Like you said, weather permitted. So I'm just happy my guys were able to, pick this thing up, and different location, but the same mission still stands. We come out here to play Oscar Smith football.
We know about the headliner, certainly a guy that's a 4-star going to Michigan, and Travis Johnson, a wide receiver, all-state quarterback, and Lonnie Andrews the third, Narad Jarvis, Buffalo commit, Jaden Koval, defensive back, UVA commit. But a couple of hidden gems stepping up for you. Let's talk about Charles McGlown, 2 touchdown catches for your wide receiver. He was a key guy a season ago. He'll be a bigger role this year, right?
Of course, Charles, man. I've been pushing Charles all offseason, dog. It's kind of hard being in the, not going to say the shadow, but kind of being on the same wide receiver core as Travis Johnson. So sometimes he doesn't get all of the shine and glory that we think that he should have. But Charles, man, is always going to be one of our guys. So I expect him to have a breakout season this year. He's definitely going to be one that everyone needs to look out for.
Well, you know from your days playing at Ocean Lakes against Oscar Smith, there's been just a lineage of wide receivers going back to the days of the Tim Smiths and the Kerry Boykinses and all these different guys. And I think even your second unit receivers that come in to spell a McGlown or Johnson are anxious. I just heard your silent the whole night talking about Jay Money, Justin Henn. He's a guy coming on too.
Justin Henn, man. Justin Henn is actually one of the stepsons of one of our assistant coaches, Coach Mann. So we always try to get on Coach Mann, saying he likes to play daddy ball down there in JV. But Justin had a great offseason, man. Some of our receivers were banged up coming off an outdoor track season. So it was just nothing but space and opportunity for him. And he earned Lonnie's trust through those 7-on-7 tournaments. And he earned his way to get great, decent rotation with the varsity guys. I expect him to be a star on JV and then come up to varsity and be a great role player type of deal.
I know the scoreboard doesn't matter in these type of scrimmages, and for you guys, you and Green Run, you're trying to get out here injury free, if you will. But the thing that stands out to me about this football team, besides some of the marquee names from a state championship squad, is even go back to the spring and the college day you had at the showcase, is just your linemen, the experience up front on the offensive and defensive line. That can really set the tone for the squad, can it?
Yes, we pride ourselves on being on our depth and our interior linemen, but also being experienced there. We return all 4 to 5 of our starting offensive linemen. We return 4 to 5 starting defensive linemen as well. So we come back with some depth up front, more experience up front, but we also understand that it's going to take, in order to win the state championship again, it's going to go through those guys right there.
What's it like, the brotherhood you have with this coaching staff? A lot of guys that I remember covering you all as players. I see Daquan Edwards, who played at Green Run. Sean Mitchell played at Oscar Smith. Chris Scott, who you played for at Ocean Lakes. He's now becoming the old guy. How much is just the camaraderie to keep the kids loose and free? What's kind of y'all's jobs on a day-to-day basis with this group to keep the drive going for a championship?
Oh, man, it's a great deal. It's kind of weird at first because at first, when we first got here, it was kind of the beach guys coming to Chesapeake to take over Oscar Smith. But we all came together to be a brotherhood and things like that. I always get my joke off and always tell them I never lost to Oscar Smith, so you guys can't talk that trash to me. But it's always friendly guys. I love those guys. Smith guys, I love them through and through, especially the fans. They do everything that the program needs, and it's just a great job that we're able to get this thing gelling and able to come together as a coaching staff in order to continue to put this thing together and go after this another state championship run.
Absolutely. I know being the former Wahoo you were juiced up, pumped for Jaden Koval's choice. But lastly, let's talk about big game coming up. Gonzaga out of DC, a national power, much like Oscar Smith in about a week here. What are the things you're going to tell the group as you go up on that trip, business trip? Oscar Smith's used to big spotlight games for this senior class, but they haven't had that opportunity, so I'm sure they're hungry for it, right?
Yes, of course. This upcoming game is going to be a great game. Like I said, we've returned a lot of experience, so it's a chance for us to put our show on the road, kind of get together and put together a great game against some great competition. Those Gonzaga guys, they have some very high profile athletes. They have 2 defensive ends, one going to Michigan, one going to Penn State. They have Navy commits and all different kinds of commits. So it's definitely going to be a tough battle. They're going to be ready because they play against guys like Good Counsel, DeMatha, those kind of teams, and we're going to give them their same kind of work, and we expect that same kind of work back. So I'm looking forward to a great battle. Season opener, so nobody's going to be playing at their best, but I expect it to be a very well-coached Gonzaga team, and we're going to come out, we're going to be feisty, we're going to play hard, and we're going to come down to a great game. I'm expecting a great game.
Defending state champion Tigers ready for another title run. Thank you so much and safe travels.
Thank you.
So there you heard it from Giovanni Simmons, former Ocean Lakes and UVA linebacker, now an assistant coach for Chris Scott and the Tigers at Oscar Smith Gonzaga and Oscar Smith in D.C., Maury, Cardinal Gibbons in North Carolina, two of the spotlight games, Ed, that we will certainly be keeping our eye on for this week as far as the slate goes for teams involved in the 7-5-7. Again, our big preview show coming up on Sunday night where we'll give you our picks for the top four in each of the districts, the Beach, Southeastern Peninsula, Bay Rivers, Eastern and Peninsula, and our Player of the Year choices, too, for offense and defense. A couple of interesting ones where I'm sure I will steal a guy of Ed's and Ed will steal a guy of mine. But this is an opportunity for Oscar Smith, which has not always performed well in some of these out-of-state games. I think they're under 500 in some of those games. And you remember the most recent one that I can recall when Bosco from California came here and put a hurting on Oscar Smith. I think it was like a 54-point beatdown. They were loaded, and they were a top 10 team in the country. So when you step up in class like this, doesn't always go well for the 7-5-7 teams. But regardless, it can be a good learning experience, can it?
It is. If you've got a power team, you can play a power team at the opening. Most coaches, and again, I'm going to talk about across the board sports, you like to open up with somebody you might feel is a very competitive game. I don't want to say pushover like they do. Some of the colleges do. They'll play the directional schools, or they'll call them, some of the talking heads call them Cupcake University. I'm not doing that in high school. I don't disrespect anybody. I don't know if there's really sure wins, but you want somebody who's more competitive. But when you step up and play a national power, you better bring something to the field, something to the court, something to the table, because that's why they're a national power. For however they have players or get players, whatever, they're a national power. They're coming. They're not traveling all that distance to get to lose or get blown out, lose. So you got to step up and be ready. And I just think a lot of times in the beginning of the year, you're not sure about your team. You might feel good. Scrimmages are all right, but they're scrimmages. And you want to get tested in the real situation now where it counts. The lights go on the W or the L. They count now. So we look at that situation. But Smith has done it. And somebody brought that up to me a year or two ago, too. And they say, hey, man, why do you think Smith don't do well against the powerhouses? They're great around here. I said, well, first of all, they're great. Their program tradition is tremendous. It's an anomaly to me that they have a losing record of powerhouse teams. Maybe they're just playing the powerhouses. So
yeah, and they lost a couple and won a couple. You remember when they had Rich Morgan coach them. So it isn't just a singular coaching staff issue. Right. I think you're playing the elite of the elite, and it's hard to put your thumb on it sometimes. Yeah.
See, me in my philosophy in scheduling, I like to go lower to upper. So if I'm going to play a power, I'd rather play them towards the end of the year. Hopefully,
I'm going to get the choice with football with district play. It doesn't have
football. Football you can't. You're right. Football is where your bye is because you get one. It's only 10 games, so you got to fit it in where you can get it in. And I get that part. But I admire those guys that have those powerhouse teams and you play that powerhouse because that's really how it should be. If that's the type of team you have, you're not going to play a powerhouse if you got a so-so team.
Right.
And this idea, well, I'm going to show our kids what we need to aspire to be. Okay, it's high school. You lose 72-0. All those kids know is we just got pounded. We're going to get joked all week in school. They don't feel good about themselves, and they start doubting themselves. I don't think you do anything to really lift them and get it going. So, but Oscar Smith, they'll hold their own on this one.
Yeah, as we go to break here, any one game, and I left out Mallard Creek of North Carolina at Todd Stadium to take on Warwick next Saturday at 12 noon. Any one game, Ed, excluding the out-of-state squads, that really jumps out at you above the rest here on the slate for Thursday or Friday? I mean, the Beach is all in play on Thursday. Coaching debut for a guy like Casey Turner at Princess Inn, who we had on the show. There's other coaches making their debuts as first-year head coaches around the area. Joey Wood at Great Bridge. We had Carlin Farabee of Norview on last week. If you missed that, you can go back and find it here on the podcast. The one that, and I think we do have it backwards. It's not Salem at Kempsville, so we'll get that fixed. It is Kempsville at Salem. So that's one little error on the ticker that we will address here and get that rectified here in a moment. But that one kind of jumps out to me as I'm kind of intrigued to see who wins that. And Norcom's going out of town to see Thomas Jefferson of Richmond. Any game one that and you can't pick. Well, you can pick Smithfield because you're now at Smithfield. But Lafayette coming to Smithfield. Any other game that kind of says, that one I'm really going to keep my eye on throughout the night. Who wins it?
You hit the ones I looked at. It's surprising. I don't know if you read my mind. Kempsville, Salem. After Green Run, those are two teams we're going to talk about. So let's see who we put in front of the other.
Yeah.
Eastern District, I would say Norcom traveled up to Richmond to play a good Thomas Jefferson team.
Didn't go well last year in Portsmouth. TJ came down here and put a whooping on them. I was there for that. Yeah.
Right. It'll be interesting to see, what we can change on that. I can't, I'm in Smithfield now. Yes, I'm going to put a whole lot of stock into our football program, our programs. Of course, a good friend of mine, Tracy Parker. And by the way, side note, Tracy's still trying to get over the fact when they told him he has to share an office with me again. They said
he should get hazard pay. He should get hazard pay for that.
Yeah, he went into relapse. They had to bring him to the emergency room. He's been very down. But I told him I'm a different Ed Young, Tracy. My desk, you'll see the top of it from day one and day whenever. So you'll be okay, Tracy. Just believe in me, Tracy. Believe in me. But Lafayette Smithfield is interesting because Lafayette's the power in the Bay Rivers. Mm-hmm. But I want to see where Smithfield is. I know they lost some key guys. Let's see where they're at. And can they grab that number 2 billing? Because I think it is Lafayette. And then after that, I know you like Warrior Hill. I know.
I like Pocosin. Don't leave out Pocosin.
Yeah,
we're talking about more previous show. Let's save some of this. But I think you're selling short a team that was in the state semis last year. And by the way, that Kempsville-Salem game coming up, I think the winner of that will be viewed as the de facto challenger to Green Run, which now has this long Beach District winning streak rolling here. See if somebody can knock Green Run off in the beach, much like we talked about. Is anybody going to knock off Lafayette in the Bay Rivers, Phoebus in the Peninsula? Oscar Smith has been picked off in the Southeastern recently by Kings Fork a couple years ago. Indian River did that one time before as well. And in the Eastern, Morey's not been touched by anybody, and I got news for you. I don't think they're getting touched this year. So.
And remember last year at this time, I think I made a bold statement. I think I guaranteed it.
Green Run
will lose a game in the district, and that was wrong.
Didn't happen.
So should I make that? I want to wait for a football show.
Yeah, wait for our preview show. And by the way, on our preview show coming up on Sunday night, some of the coaches and players you'll hear from include Brandon Williams of Green Run, who we caught up with at the scrimmage, Dontrell Leonard of the Church and Truckers, Nance Minerva quarterback Tyrell Grant, who's going to Syracuse, and Denby quarterback Kevin Parker Jr., who is uncommitted right now. He's a junior, but you'll hear from a couple quarterbacks and a couple of coaches in our preview show coming up on Sunday night. So keep an eye on that. Hit the subscribe button on Cova Sports TV, and you will have it come right to you on your mobile device or whatever computer, whatever technology form you use, and follow and watch the show. All right, one more segment to do here, and it's going to be our over-under picks for the American Football Conference and the National Football League. It's all coming up here on 757 Sports Talk. It's Cova Sports TV.
Hampton Roads has a long-running high school and college sports tradition. It's time to give them the spotlight they deserve. This is 757 Sports Talk.
Usually it's Hatfield. That's why I try to tell everybody, get on Hatfield. He is the legal scribe, the talking head that knows all this, puts the whammies on. We do things different on this podcast. That's why we're rated number 3 in the state.
You got Play-Doh? Get out of here! We got people all over the globe watching with us. Sitting in a phone booth with you would be very...
we got to have your own phone booth. I'm not sitting in no phone booth with you.
It is 757 Saturday Sports Talk here on Cova Sports TV. Like, share, and subscribe.
What makes a life a good one? Is it our adventures? Or the friends we find along the way? Is it the challenges we conquer together? Maybe it's the people's lives we touch every single day. So, what makes a life a good one? You'll have to figure that one out for yourself.
What is more? Is it more reps, more strength, more stamina? We say it's all of that, but it's greater than just what's in the mirror. It's about improving your mental and physical health. More is a feeling of achievement, fulfillment, confidence. It's looking better, feeling better, being better. And it's our mission to get you there. Because here, you are more. One Life Fitness.
Hey friends, we're back with joke time. Why is it so hard to eat near basketball players? Because they dribble all the time. Dribble, dribble, dribble.
This is 757 Saturday Sports Talk with Matt Hatfield and Coach Ed Young.
All right, he's not dribbling, but he is the head basketball coach of the Smithfield Packers. Ed Young, I am Matthew Hatfield. Did get a little another pool. I told you to get another pool in for you before we did a do. That was for Woody and all my loyal fans and lovers out there. Thank you all.
That was horrendous.
Why was it horrendous?
That one was horrendous.
Horrendous? So from a 1 to 10, what do you give it? You give it a -3?
We're going to eat around. You can't eat around basketball players because they drip. Horrendous. The imagery.
Dribble. Come on.
No, that was.
I guarantee you at least one of the 312,000 viewers that watched this show, at least one person laughed. Guarantee you. I guarantee you somebody did. Maybe more than one. Maybe like 212 people laughed. I don't know.
That was bad.
All right.
We lost the 312 people that were.
No, they're still watching. I'm looking right here at the statistics. We have people still watching. It is now time for our NFL over-unders. And I was going to do it right here on the screen, what we did last year, but that's too small to read. And it's you got to squint to read that. So let's zoom it in bigger for all you people out there as we do some National Football League predictions here on the program. And as we do that, we're going to show you how it went last year. Zoom in a little bit better. Tell me this is better. That's a better view of it. Oh, yeah, we'll zoom in. So this was the NFC last year, and this is the AFC last year. You can see how we did. The yellow means we got it right. No yellow means we got it wrong. This was the verdict for each team. So there's a little spreadsheet of it. And for the AFC, unfortunately, 5-11 for me. Ed went 8-8. NFC, Ed was 9-7. I was 11-5. It makes sense because being a Cardinals fan, NFC's my conference. Being a Raiders fan, AFC's his conference. But when you tally it all up, unfortunately, it's 17-15 for Edward, 16-16 for the Hat. So he squeezed it out by a game. But the good thing is we both were 500 or better, so they brought us back for this year to do it.
Let's call it what it is. He's won again. He won again. Okay, that's 3 out of the last 4 years. This guy has won.
You cheated. All right, so let's get it rolling here. I know you will love this, so we will get it queued up here with a little bit of football music in the background. Here we go. AFC, let's take them in division order alphabetically if we can. And you have the sheet in front of you, right?
I'm looking at it now, yes.
Okay. Buffalo Bills. Tell me about their win total, and I'll tell you what it was for last year.
They are saying the Buffalo Bills it's 11.5. Now, explain to the people what that means, Matt, because we have
11.5 for the Bills. So basically, if they get 12 wins or more, they go over. If they get 11 wins or fewer, and they now play 17 games as opposed to 16, it's under. Last year, the Bills win total, we put it back up here on the screen for folks. You'll see it. Buffalo, 9.5 was the count for them. We both had over at 1 because they won 13 games, 11 the year before. And again, the number was 9.5. So that's how this game works. Pretty simple, right? Not too hard, not too complicated.
And the 0.5 people, because somebody's going to say, these two idiots, nobody can win half a game.
Well, they do it to avoid a push, which is so brilliant of the Vegas people out there. And again, pick or wager responsibly. We're not encouraging or discouraging you either way on that front. So here we go. Buffalo, again, the total, as Dan weighs in, the Cowboys are tanking for Archman. And we'll get to you Cowboys, the Pokes in a moment here. Actually, we'll get to them next week, Dan, because we're doing AFC today. For time purposes, we'll do the NFC next week. We might splice them together so we have them all as one for all you that miss it. So again, the number's 11.5, you said, for Buffalo?
Yes.
That's a big number, Edward. You want to go first?
I'm going first because I'm jumping all over it. Give me Buffalo over. They're going to get 12 wins at least.
All right. I'm going to say over as well, but that opener against Baltimore, if they trip up and it worries me. However, the division allows them to possibly go 6-0 or 5-1. I think they'll get there and go over the total as well. All right. Read it to me. The Miami Dolphins number one.
Miami Dolphins.
8.5 last year. We both had it as an over, and it did not go. It was 8. Tua, the injuries, they won 11 a year before. You got Tyreek Hill disgruntled at times. How good will that defense be? Can they keep those weapons on offense like Waddle and Achane and Hill healthy as well as Tua? That's the big question mark. What's the number?
They have the Dolphins this year at 7.5.
You know what? That's very tempting to say they get. The first game is Indianapolis. Very tempting to say it's over. I don't see them as a 7-10 football team, but I don't think they finish second in that division either. But I will take the gamble that they will just squeeze out and get to 8. It might be a backdoor cover to get to 8, but I'll take the over.
You got me because I was going to squeeze 8 wins out of that team. You know, there's some people who said they'll win no more than 5. That division dominated by Buffalo, I think, is wide open for second place. So I'm going to say Miami gets 8 wins. I'm going to go over.
All right, you're going to go over like me. And by the way, 27th in the league in sacks last year on defense. They have to up that number to get over the total. Read me New England's win total, and you go first for Drake May and the Pats, no longer coached by Kick-10 High alum Gerard Mayo. They're now coached by Mike Vrabel.
You know, I'm interested in the Patriots because if I'm not mistaken, my Raiders open up with them. New England is put down at 8.5.
Big number, Ed. Big
number. I'm going to say, I think they can get 8, but it's at 0.5. So I'm going to say under, and they lose to the Raiders on opening weekend. So I'm going.
You have them doubling the win total, which still has them under, and they've won 4 the last 2 years, and they were an under pick for us last year. I'm going to be an under pick again this year. I just don't see it. I don't see it any way, shape, or form that they get there, so I'm going under with you also. How about the New York Football Jets? Jets, Jets.
The Jets, those hapless Jets. Believe this, I thought it would be higher. It's only 5.5.
Really?
Yeah, you go first on this one. It's interesting.
5.5. That is a very low number. Aaron Glenn's rebuilding things. It was 8.5 last year. They won 5, so we're asking them to just win 5. I think they squeeze out and get to 6, so I'm going to go over the total. Yeah, I do think they have some decent personnel, but then again, man, that's asking them to go 6-11. Can I change my pick already as I just talked myself out of it? I'm going to go under. I'm changing my pick as we speak. I just don't see how they do it. Justin Fields runs so much. He's liable to get hurt. Yeah, I think they just get under, go 5-12 again. I think they just by game miss it.
For sake of the show, I'll go that 6. I'll take the 6.
All right, he took
but
the gamble.
I think I'm like you.
I baited him.
Yeah, I don't see them winning a whole lot.
Let's go to the Baltimore Ravens in the AFC North division. Last year, Ed, it was a high total for them at 10.5, but they got it over and they got 12. They won 13 the year before, so they're a consistent team under Coach Harbaugh. Got a couple of holes to fill. You wonder about the secondary and the O-line at times, but my goodness, there's still a really good defense when they're on. And offensively, we know how electric they are with Lamar Jackson and, of course, Derrick Henry. Can Mark Andrews, the tight end, bounce back after what happened with that drop he had in his hands?
He will. They have him at 11.5. And AJ, I hope you're listening. I got him winning at least 12, probably 13. Ooh. And they could go undefeated in the division. So I'm going to go Ravens over 11.5.
I'm going to shock you and say under. I think they go 10-7 or 11-6. Yeah, I just have some. I wonder if the pass rush will be as consistent. And then they had some players in the secondary that played really well last year. One of which we know is an older guy. Now they have, Hamilton at safety. He's really good. Kyle Hamilton from your Notre Dame, Fighting Irish. But we're asking a guy like Marlon Humphreys getting up there a little bit in age. And Lamar, he has not really had a serious injury. Not that I'm wishing that or hoping that. He could be dinged up for a couple games the way he plays. You're asking the receivers like Zay Flowers and even a new guy at wide receiver that's playing a bigger role, DeAndre Hopkins, to deliver all the time. That division with Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, Cleveland's not very good, but they'll get picked off a couple times, and I think they finish just under it, Ed.
Okay, we'll see.
What you got for Cincinnati, the Bengals, who have to revamp that defense with or without Trey Hendrickson? They better get it going. We know Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, that offense can be humming. What about the Cincinnati Bengals?
Well, Bengals, and you're going to go first on them, 9.5.
See, I think this is the team, new defensive coordinator, although I loved Lou Anarumo. It just went bad at the end for him. They get up to such rocky starts, so that worries the heck out of me under Zach Taylor. But I think the Bengals will eke out 10. They might tie for Baltimore for this division. I think it's going to be neck and neck the whole year. I'm a Bengal believer just because of Burrow and the offense. I'm going to go over.
Ooh, over. So you're looking at least 10-7.
Yes.
Tough division, dominated usually by Baltimore, but those teams seem to knock each other off. I do think Baltimore can go undefeated in that division this year for some crazy reason. I'm waffling with the Bengals. I kind of think
I'm a pancake guy.
You know what? I'm going to make my former coworker Brian Moss happy. I'll go 10 wins. I'll go over.
Ooh.
I don't see
You
more
won't
than
make
10.
Brian Moss happy. You just got to be a winner here. Winner, chicken dinner. How about the Cleveland Brownies? They're freshly made Brownies. Whether they got, they don't have Watson at quarterback. We don't know if it's going to be Shador. It's going to be Gabriel. Is it going to be Flacco? It's probably going to be Joe Flacco, the former Ravens Super Bowl winning quarterback. It was 7.5 last year, and we both, for some crazy reason, took the over. They won 11 2 years ago, 3 last year. Bob Lanham, I'm sorry. I don't know if you go first or I go first, but I don't think they're going to win a lot of games this year, Ed.
I'm going first with the Browns, who are 4.5. And I'm thinking 4 or 5. I'll take
4.5?
4.5, the lowest on the board.
Gosh.
Somebody, I heard one of the talking heads yesterday say he gives them 2 wins, absolute most 2 wins. I was like, wow, that's all. And then I look at the schedule.
I'm looking at the schedule now. This is going to determine it for me. This is crazy.
4.5,
I
yeah.
find the schedule now. I don't even see it in my book here. Go ahead. You go first.
I'm going to say, I'm going to say under at 4. That puts them 4-13. They're that bad. Tough division. I don't have their those non-divisional games in front of me, like who they stacked up against. Quarterback, you're right. Flacco's going to start it out, and then it's either going to be Sanders or Gabriel. And I go with Deion's kid. That's who I would go with after. I let Flacco start it out, but I would go with Sanders to come in there. But I'm going to put 4 wins, go right under it. I know you're going over.
I have them. Boy, I have a hard time getting there. I really do. I'm looking at their schedule now. So they're out of division games that you just hit on. They're not very pleasing. They have the Packers, the Lions, the Vikings, Dolphins, Patriots, Jets, Raiders, Niners, Titans, Bears, Bills. Oh my!
I'm glad I took under. They're not.
I've got to go under as well, Ed. I mean, I took them over last year. I can't live with myself and say I took the Browns as an over 2 years in a row.
That's not a good look.
And Bill's watching. Bill, he's a Cleveland guy. We know Bill loves his Cleveland teams: Cavaliers, Guardians. Bill Walcott, the Cleveland guy. Bill, I love to have in this whole Myles Garrett thing now. It's just looming over the team. It's a little bit like the Parsons, although he's under deal, but it's just he's got a little off the field issue. It's just I love to say they go over, but I can't see it. I'm with you. The schedule's so hard. Maybe they get Tennessee, maybe they get the Jets, maybe they get the Dolphins, but they have to win all those to me to get to 5. So I'm going to go on.
Right. That's the thing. They'd have to win all those, and now we're also talking key guys injury free.
Yeah, give me Pittsburgh. And by the way, no Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. He's out of Bethel High School with the injury. He's out. So no Jeremiah, who we love from the 757. We've interviewed him multiple times, so that hurts. Another 757 guy is Mike Tomlin, the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Blitzburg Steelers, then be high. William & Mary product. Give me the number for the Steelers. Your
Steelers
favorite team. Your Steelers. Just like your Raiders.
Favorite team. Yes. Right behind my Raiders. Steelers. I say it with pride. 8.5.
That's what it was last year. They've won 10 the last 2 years.
You go first. I already know what I want.
Well, they're another team like the Cleveland Browns. I don't fully believe in this pick as an over. However, history shows that you have to take this as an over because they'll play Cleveland twice, probably beat them twice. They will find a way under Tomlin, and Aaron Rodgers has a lot to prove. And they will do a better job of surrounding him with chances to win and keeping him healthy. I tell you what, the game that's going to probably determine it is that last game of the year with Baltimore. If the Ravens need it or not, are they resting guys? That might be on the teeter-totter to get to 9. It might be a 9-8 football team this year. So I'm going to take the gamble they do, and I'll go over.
I'm going over. 10 wins.
Okay.
Without even looking at the schedule. I'm going 10 again. Yes.
Let's go AFC South, where we start with the Houston Texans. Chase's boys. Running back situation worries me. Do they have a healthy Joe Mixon, Nick Chubb there? But they have a quarterback who's talented. C.J. Stroud had a little bit of a sophomore slump, but he's got some really good receivers. D'Amico Ryans can coach up that defense. What about the Houston Texans, who last year, the win total, Ed, was surprisingly only 8.5. They went over with ease as they've won 10 each of the last 2 years.
You know, it's a division where it's wide open. The Texans are coming in at 9.5. Boy, the Vegas people mess with you.
9.5 is the number?
9.5. And I think it's me first.
Yeah, you first.
I think they won't get to 10. I think they'll get to 9. I'm going to jump over that 0.5.
Yeah.
I'll take over.
I think they're a better football team in terms of some areas, but the schedule worries me, Ed. They got the Rams, the Bucks, the Jags on the road, at Baltimore before the bye, after the bye to Seattle, which is never an easy place to play. I don't care what Seattle's team is looking like. It's never an easy place to play. Niners on the schedule. They do have 3 straight home games, which helps them, but Denver's improved. The Bills are on the schedule. The Chargers at the end of the road. I think they get to 9 as well. I'm going under. I've got Jacksonville probably winning that division, which means I got to take somebody as an over, and that's them. So give me Indy before Jacksonville, though. What's their number?
Indy. I think the Colts. Here we got bottom 7.5. You're up.
That's what it was last year. They went over it with 8. Went 9 the year before, but I am down on them, Ed. I don't like this quarterback situation. They put in Danny Dimes, Daniel Jones. I think Anthony Richardson is, very inconsistent. Good runner, can't throw it. Special teams is bad to me. Sorry, Will Garlick. I know you love your Colts. He goes and sees them every year. It's not Manning and the boys anymore. It's not Andrew Luck and the boys. I'm going to go under. I think this is a really hot seat year for Shane Steichen, too. I'm going under. I think they struggle to get to maybe 6-7 wins.
I think quarterback is going to be an issue all year. And if you're telling me special teams is in a wreck, you got to have special teams got to win you a game or two during the year.
It's not, I don't think.
I'm going to go Colts at the best 7, so that takes me under.
Under, yeah. I think they're a 6-win football team probably, so by a game and a half here. That Vegas is right on the button with these numbers. How about the Jacksonville Jaguars, who have let me down year after year after year? New coach, Mr. Liam Cohen. Can he resuscitate Trevor Lawrence, who was so great at Clemson, has not been as great or consistent in the NFL, but they got Travis Hunter now, and he could light things up on both sides of the ball. What's the Jags number?
Love Hunter. They got him at 7.5 also, like the Colts were.
Over.
You're
it's
up.
a 9 or 10-win football team to me. Over. Over, baby. Over.
I'm just not on this bandwagon, but since I took the Colts under.
You can go under. You've already had 2 unders in the division. Make it a straight under royal flush for you.
The whole division's bad. They all go under.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't like the Jags at all. I could see them getting to 7, which just puts them under. So I'm going under 7 wins.
Under. All right. Tennessee Titans. Number 1 overall pick in Cam Ward. New coaching staff there. What do you think about the Titans of Tennessee?
The Titans are coming in at Titan. Where are you, Titans? Tennessee.
Probably lower numbers. They were 5.5 last year, went under with 3, only won 6 the year before.
You're right. I was looking way too high. They got the Titans at 5.5.
All right. I go first. I don't think they rebuild it just yet. I think they get to 4 or 5 wins. Give me under. I think they're with the Jets and some of the other teams at the bottom of the league, the Saints too, which we'll get to next week. I'm going under for them.
You know what? I'm going to flip a dime here and call heads, and it is, and say 6 wins. They'll get 6, which puts them over.
All right, we disagree. AFC West to wrap things up. The Denver Broncos, a trendy pick to win the division, including by yours truly with that very, very solid defense. And Bo Nix's second year under Coach Sean Payton, second-year head man. What's Denver's win total?
I go first at 9.5 over.
I'm with you. I am all in on the Broncos. I think they're a sleeper team, dark horse team to possibly go to the Super Bowl because I think you win with defense, and they've got one of the better defenses in all of the National Football League. So give it to me. I like it. All right, what's the Kansas City Chiefs, who won 15 games last year? Ed, Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid. Hopefully no bullets flying into his office this year. My gosh.
This is truly America's team because of this America's sweetheart.
Swifty and Travis Kelce. What's their total this year?
But they're at 11.5. Go first.
They won so many close games last year. They've been relatively healthy. We know Chris Jones is a beast on the defensive line. They have better playmakers, believe it or not, at receiver for Mahomes. But that offensive line has issues from time to time, and I don't trust them. I think they lose more to close games this year, that division with the Chargers and with the Broncos. Even your Raiders might play them hard, which they have in recent years. I think they finish with 10 or 11 wins. Give me under.
Over.
Really?
Over, no doubt in my mind.
12 plus, baby. Okay.
12 wins. Easy.
Easy. Well, let me tell you, those first few games are not easy. Out of the chute, they have at the Chargers, against the Super Bowl champion Eagles, at the Giants. That might be easy. And then they host the Ravens. And then, by the way, they go to Jacksonville, host the Lions. So of those first 6 games, they might be an underdog in 3 of them. Might be.
At the worst, 4-2 in the first 6.
Okay. Chargers, before we wrap it up with your Vegas Raiders.
Okay, let's go. Oh, somebody stole the screen. Chargers, LA Chargers. Still call them San Diego.
7.5 last year. We had over 11 wins 5 the year before. You said, what's the number?
9.5.
Ooh.
I go first. Oh. That cannot be a division with 2 and 3, 4 teams winning 10 games.
Well, you've got the Broncos and the Chiefs as an over, so you got to pick somebody as an under, right?
I got to go. I'm going Chargers under 9 wins, maybe 9 wins under.
All right, I'm gonna go. Tell you what, I think it's right there between 9 and 10. They did this beautifully.
Vegas is perfect on these over and unders.
I could actually see that division have 3 teams with 10 wins. It could be the NFC North from last year. Remember that with the Packers, with the Lions and the Vikings. I'm going to say they get over. I think the Broncos, Chiefs, and Chargers will all be at around 9, 10, 11 wins. Hang in there. I'm going to go over. I think they just get it. Just get it. To be different than you, I'm going to go over. And the last one, your Las Vegas Raiders, who last year, unfortunately, they were 5.5. We both took the over. They won 4 after winning 8 the season before. And we'll see if Pete Carroll can get them out of the mess they have been in. With Geno, the Machino Smith at quarterback.
I got the world famous Las Vegas Raiders at 6.5. Give me over. That team's going to win 7-8 games, guaranteed.
Not a chance. Not a chance. Well, actually, there's a chance. I think they will be better, and I am tempted to go 7-11 for them, or 7-10 for them.
I can see it. I can see.
And I love the rookie Ashton Genty. You might have rookie of the year, but I'm going to say just because that division, I'm going to go under 6-11. I could be eating crow.
Oh, you will. And I want to see it live, ladies and gentlemen. Like he always tells me. Well, let's shave your head and run you down naked on Virginia Beach Boulevard if you lose. Now, I wouldn't mind seeing you bald, but I don't want to see the other part. So he's eating the crow when the Raiders win game number 7. We're not waiting till anymore.
Answer this one question for me. And we'll end the show.
Who's going to stop the run? Who can defend?
Well, you were going to where I was going because they actually finished okay last year against the run, 13th, but turnover differential, 30th. Geno can be a little up and down there. Who's going to be their playmaker on defense not named Max Crosby? Because they got playmakers like Brock Bowers and Ashton Genty on offense, but other than Crosby, if Crosby gets hurt or double-teamed, who's the guy at linebacker or defensive back making play?
And Crosby is like T.J. Watt. He's going to get doubled every play with a third guy watching for him. So I'm challenging my Raider, and I don't have the book in front of me. One of them doggone linebackers who they're talking crazy about needs to become a known name, because Crosby will not have great numbers because he's going to be 2.5 team every play. So, and you don't want your defensive backfield being the stars, because that means you're getting thrown on every time. Raider linebackers, wake up, somebody step up, become a household name.
All right, that's going to wrap up this edition of 757 Sports Talk. We thank you all for tuning in, for all the guests and interviews, and, of course, the one and only David Teal. I am Matthew Hatfield. You, sir, are?
I'm the coach. Yes, I am the coach. Smithfield Packers. Get out and see us play. Ed Young is the guy, but my team is who I really want you to watch. I don't even know him yet. I haven't even met him.
No, they're going to be meeting you soon. Hey, football season, it's back. Basketball will be here before you know it. And we'll talk to you next time on our final August edition of 757 Sports Talk. Don't forget our special Sunday night preview show as we take the high school football scene by storm with previews and picks.
Let me throw this out there real quick, too, for Smithfield area. September 4th. That's not this week, though, right? That's next week, the following week.
The following, yeah.
Meet and greet this guy at the school, September 4th. I think it's a 6:30 start. Meet and greet, Smithfield area. Come on, I want to see everybody. Everybody. Come on out. And it don't have to be just Smithfield. Okay? Keith, September 4th, Thursday night, Smithfield. I don't know if it's in the auditorium, the gym, whatever. It's at the high school. Meet this guy to see what he's got planned for those Packers of Smithfield High.
We'll talk to you next time on 757 Sports Talk. Don't forget our preview show coming up on Sunday night, and we'll see you then. Have a great sports weekend, everyone.
Enjoy that Saturday.
You bet. Oh, and by the way, as we sign off, you know what it's time for? Where do you go, Ed? Where do you go?
What state has the most streets? Oh, that's an easy one. Rhode Island.